Okay, guys, we are live. So for those listening at home, welcome to the Dungeon Musings YouTube channel. My name is Kevin Madison, and I'll be your friendly Queen's Legate today, because today we are kicking off a short campaign where we will be playing Free League's excellent and very atmospheric dark fantasy RPG, Symbaroum. Now, we have run this once on the channel before, but that was about 4 years ago, more than that, almost 5 years ago, and I do not think I did a terribly good job of it the first time I ran it. That is not to say I'm going to do a better job this time, but I am trying, and I am accompanied by some Symbaroum veterans of varying degrees and some people who have owned it or read it. Symbaroum, if you're not familiar, is probably best known for the massive mega campaign that it published called the Throne of Thorns. That one is not what we're running today. We have plans to return to Symbaroum to run a smaller campaign around over the Christmas holidays, but this campaign is going to be carrying on in basically in the time where we had been playing our other way of celebrating 10 years on the channel. Symbaroum is a very unique setting and unique game. One of the ways it makes itself very different is I do not roll any dice in this, so it is closer to like Cypher System or some of the other games where everything is player facing. We're going to introduce you to the stars of our campaign in a moment, but to situate ourselves in the world of Symbaroum, in the promised land of Ambria, we're going to go through just a very brief summary so we all sort of know where we are and what we're about to engage in. So guys, the Great War, the hungry hordes of the Dark Lords, a nightmare that lasted for 2 decades and left little to hearten those who finally woke up. Instead, they had all the reason to grieve. Tens of thousands had died. The maimed and broken were beyond count. The land was ravaged by death magic. There was famine and infertility. And even though the young queen Corinthia had been rescued from the claws of the enemy, she had returned a shadow of her former self, with a lifeless mask covering her once radiant sunshine smile. 21 years have passed since the Dark Lords were vanquished, and the Queen realized that her realm was dying. She was forced to lead her people to safer grounds, that much was evident, and before long, she was able to identify where to start anew. North of the mountain range called the Titans lay the fertile soils which, according to legend, were the ancestral home of her people. The time had come for Corinthia to claim her birthright. During the past couple of centuries, the region up north had been controlled by warring barbarian clans, and before that, by the prosperous city-state of Lindaros. According to legend, Lindaros suffered the wrath of celestial powers, causing a most infectious bleeder's disease to wipe out its entire population. This occurred about 200 years ago, after which it took more than a century before the nomadic clans of the region dared approach the contaminated ruins. No more than a couple months after the decisive battle against the Dark Lords, Corinthia's troops reached the region in the north. At the Lindaros' ruins, they encountered a small barbarian settlement, established by the clan Cadiz, that had been evicted from its territory in Davokar 50 years earlier. After a siege that lasted only 3 days, the barbarian chieftain bowed before the superior power, and the work of rebuilding Lindaros could commence. A task that mainly was carried out by thousands of prisoners of war and as many so-called volunteers, men and women who were on the run from already dead regions in old Albarator. The Queen did not join the refugees until 7 years after the war's end. When she did, she declared that her new realm would be called Ambria, the Shining, and the increasingly well-organized capital was to be named Indaros, in honor of Carinthia's father, the hero king Enidar. 3 years later, the Queen's armies also managed to overwhelm the barbarian warlord Haloban and his clan warriors, a triumph giving Carinthia and her people the opportunity to start exploring and harvesting the ample riches of the Davokar forest. Much has happened over a short period of time, so there's been no room for subtleties. Disobedient barbarians have been killed, banished, or imprisoned by Carinthia's experienced and well-equipped soldiers. The obedient ones have been used for labor under slave-like conditions. The latter also holds true for many of Carinthia's own subjects, namely all those who came from the south without personal riches or sought-after skills. If anyone bothered to keep count of how many people have died in the process of building Ambria, the final score would be in the thousands. But no one does. To those who are alive, nothing counts but the remarkable result. Although the restoration of Indaros is far from finished, the city has grown to enormous proportions, and at the same time, Carinthia's knights have conquered all the land between the mountains in the south and the woods in the north. Now the nobles of Ambria are starting to plan for new conquests in the north and in the west. 7 years ago, the uncrowned king of Ambria's treasure hunters, Lassifor Nightpitch, established the town of Thistlehold. The construction was largely financed by the reward Lassifor had received from an armful of dried twilight thistle, a rare herb allegedly powerful enough to aid the gravely ill Abyssina, mother of Queen Carinthia. Ever since then, the walled settlement of Mare Nightpitch has acted as a safe haven for Ambrians exploring Davokar, a forest full of natural resources and rich remnants of long-lost civilizations. Also, a forest full of rampant abominations, mitted creatures of otherworldly origins, and a band of wardens most unwilling to welcome the damages done by human explorers. That is the land in which we will be adventuring, and what you see in our illustration before us is the entrance to Thistlehold. Let me show you the map of our region. This is Ambria and the southernmost reaches of the Davokar. Thistlehold is here, where we will be concerning ourselves. Indaros, the capital that we spoke of, built on the bones of a barbarian settlement and a plague-lost civilization. The Titans are here, dead. Albarator is far to the south of here. The Davokar stretches out here. And I'd encourage you, though you can see names of places in here, they might as well be figments of your imagination, because to reach them and, more importantly, to find them in the twisting Davokar is as much of a reality as the dreams of avarice. The Davokar is broadly thought of as having different zones, and they are figuratively referenced as the bright Davokar and the dark Davokar. The bright Davokar is anything but serving only to live up to that name when compared to the deep and dark reaches of the forest. The riches that you will be looking for are typically somewhere in here, but there are a few complicating factors to that. One is that Thistlehold, as we discussed before we started, is a boom town. This is the layout of Thistlehold. In order to even enter Thistlehold, you need to have, at the minimum, a copper ring and a bill of passage. In order to explore the Davokar and claim riches to be found in there or resources to be found in there, you need a license to conduct such exploration, and you need to have what you're doing match what you have been licensed to do. I assume all of you have your copper ring and a signet for bill of passage that has allowed you to get in here. There are two sort of rival communities or nearby adjoining communities that aren't on this map. One of them is a goblin settlement. There is a tribe of goblins who were encouraged by Mayor Nightpitch to come and make homes in Thistlehold. The other is a springing up tent city that is established by a rival of Mayor Nightpitch, and many question how long he'll continue to tolerate that, even though it is on a rival noble's land. You may have seen on that map that we looked at as well, guys, that there are a couple of like sub-regions that are identified in here. Prios Domain, under the control of the church. Naragor, forgive me. Saragon. These, I believe they're called duchies. I can't remember one way or the other, but that is the default settlement. But Queen Corinthia has also just granted some people unusual specific standings and settings, like Thistlehold, like the establishment that Mayor Nightpitch has enjoyed. That is something that some of you may be aspiring towards. Again, Mayor Nightpitch was a penniless and desperate treasure seeker 7 years ago. And now, one of the most prosperous and active communities anywhere, and sharing the favor of Queen Corinthia. So, guys, before we turn our mind to what we're doing today, why don't you guys tell us who you're playing today? So first up, we've got Carl.
I have to unmute myself, although I would toast Timo in any case.
Toast Timo in any case.
Timo! I am Friend. A very
Carl, I know you're our friend. Come on.
Yes. Friend is the name, I guess, because either that's all he knows of the human tongue, or, well, you know, he's an ogre mage, actually. He has a companion named Flard. He is near penniless, actually, so he's not going to be staying in any inn, and I don't know how he's going to get his food, but we'll figure that out.
Yeah, there is the experience of non-humans, like as you heard in the introduction there is a great unequalness between those who are Ambrian and those who are natives to this region, or at least more recent natives to this region. That's to say nothing of the class system that's perpetuated from Albarador to here for non-humans like goblins, elves, changelings, ogres, dwarves. It is a rough spot to try and find yourself in. One upside is Thistlehold is so dynamic and really more focused on everybody just getting rich, that so long as that is sort of your you're not standing in the way of that, you will find more acceptance here than you may in some of the other regions. Next up is David.
Hi everyone, I'm David. I'm playing Algai of House Article, a veteran of the Great War, recently arrived in the Promised Land looking for redemption.
Very nice. Next up is Graham.
I'm Graham. The Dark Lord's grasp may yet reach beyond our lost home of Alboretor and the mountainous titans. Corruption is found even here in the promised land of Ambria. I am Hador. I'm a witch hunter. I must root out this corruption and burn it out. We will not be overcome by the great evils that oppress us.
Very nice. Next up is Sean.
Hello, I am playing Ender, a Ambrian. Is the H pronounced? Is it Thurg?
Theurg, I think.
Yeah.
Theurg. Yeah, that feels right. Excellent. I am a Theurg of the sun god.
Prios, the lawgiver.
Indeed. He is what frees us of the bondage of the old gods, and I look forward to bringing his light to all of us.
Very nice. And last but certainly not least is Jeffrey.
Hey everybody, I'm Jeff, and I'm playing Ulafos. He is a goblin and a very experienced wilderness guide around here. And he's looking to make some coin, and if it's shiny, it's his. Thank you.
Fantastic. All right. So, guys, I want to show you one more thing here. These are two views from the street. I'll show you first, actually, this, which I think is very cool. This gives you the idea of the palace, the extent of the palisade around Thistlehold, and what you're going through when you're going in. The thing I really like about this in particular is it reminds me of the forts, like the fur forts, the fur trading forts that we have in North America. It has that, there's where I grew up in Winnipeg, Manitoba, there's Lord Fort Garry was an old trading fort, and they have a replica of it built. We do not have castles in North America, at least not contemporaneous. We do have legacy stuff of the colonial fur trade, though. And this is what it reminds me a lot of. Which is cool because there is a distinctive smell. You know, like that much wood and that much leather being used to hold everything together. There is just a real particular aroma that it permeates the whole place. So this whole place must smell like damp timber. So if you can imagine what you're like walking around here, this is what the sprawling approach is. And this here, guys, is a sense of what you see in the streets of Thistlehold. There are a couple of things that really stand out here. One of the tallest structures is the Tower of the Ordo Magica, the kind of resident place for sorcerers in here. But because this place is largely here because of exploration in Davokar, it also means that there are the kind of things you would expect to see in other types of, you know, adventuring things. There's taverns to meet up with other people. There's inns to stay in. But there are salons where people discuss theories of Symbaroum, the name of the lost empire swallowed by Davokar. Great places to gain information if you are intending on taking part in expeditions into Davokar. There are the libraries at the Ordo Magica Tower. There are other places where you may gain information. And while some earthy boots-on-the-ground types may scoff at the value of such research, it's said that a wise and successful treasure hunter should take advantage of all available opportunities. This is where you are all finding yourself. Elgai, I'd like to start with you. Give us a sense of what you've been doing, say, the last couple of weeks. I think it's only been a matter of weeks, otherwise you would be fresh out of money if you were not taking on an expedition or hiring onto one. What was your plan in arriving here?
I think when he first arrived in Embria, he was obviously quite lost and sort of haunted by what happened across the mountains. I think he's taken some time to get the lay of the land and has ascertained that Thistlehold might be the best opportunity for redemption and for finding a new path in this new land. So I would imagine he's been on maybe like one expedition, maybe more as a bodyguard, to get a bit of the lay of the land, to get an understanding of how things work, and has now tried to assemble his own team, drawing on maybe people he's met on the previous expedition or had recommended by people that survived that one, to himself go out into the woods.
How do you think Elgai has acclimated from, noble knightly warrior, a chivalric, presumably fighting as part of a unit, to scrambling around on foot without mount, trying to put together a group of effectively grave robbers?
I think it's been difficult, to say the least.
Okay.
So I think he's probably been glad to however he met Inder, to have a Theurk around to, if Price's light is in this town, it can't be all that bad. And there might be, this might just be a different path that can be used to go back to the glory of his house. But yeah, it's definitely been a shock to the system. Okay. But then I also feel maybe compared to the horrors of the war, this isn't all that bad, right? We had to adapt to survive the war. Yeah. So this is maybe, at least we're not being shot at every day or in battle every day. So I think there's an element, it's that weird sort of
charged by hordes of undead.
And disturbing, but it's also weirdly calm and peaceful compared to what he's left behind.
Yeah. It's worth noting, I hope it came across in that little excerpt too, but for those characters who are Ambrian, so Hador, Elgai, Inder, not only did you barely survive a conflict with a neighbor nation, it killed your home, poisoned the soil, corrupted the dead, led all the animals to being infertile, stretching to dying bloodlines among the humans. Imagine the last of you who have left would have passed through metropolises emptied of people, left to the elements, and because of the persisting corrupting influence of the Dark Lords, to the worst and most corrupted versions of those things. You won the war, you lost your home. So, Elgai, what do you do in your spare time then? Do you, are you devoted? Do you go to the, whatever the available temple is? I can't remember what it is. Where's my map? Do you try to listen in the salons, or listen in when people are talking about what they've been exposed to? Do you gamble? Do you drink?
Neither of those vices for Elgai, which sometimes regrets. People seem to find great succor in those things. So he'll definitely be paying attention and the salons, listening to others. It'll probably be like wherever someone who has successfully returned from Davokar is bragging or holding sway or sort of recounting their tales. He'll go and listen. He'll probably try to stay true to Price's teaching, but I feel there's an element of, that sort of, the light of the Lord didn't prevent a horde from horrible undead from devouring all he's ever known and loved. His faith might be on a bit shaky grounds.
Okay. So you're perhaps leaving one of these things where you recall the speaker, he clearly had some interesting information. He must have been exaggerating on some of the cyclopean nature of these runes, how big and how expansive that they are. And you could not help notice that his right hand had a trembling palsy to it, such that if this guy did wield a sword at one point, there is no chance of him ever wielding it once again. And I think your experience in the war likely tells you that, or at least it enables you to recognize when he is talking about and bragging about what he's seen, he's as much experiencing it unbidden as what those who suffer the recurring memories of war. He just talked about it in a way that was as if he was possessed. Some may have thought of him as just being a very apt and very adept and impassioned speaker. You would recognize someone who is thoroughly hollowed by the memories of what they have experienced. And it's when you're leaving, I think, that someone seems to leave from there with you and kind of tugs at your cape. And when you turn around, you can see someone. Their frame is quite big, but they are hunched. And clearly their arm is in a different, like it is at an odd angle. Their shoulder seems to be sitting a bit odd. And the person, how would you turn around with someone grabbing you? Do you like react with like swiftly turning around, or do you not have sort of that hair trigger?
I think that he'll turn around swiftly, and then out of habit, his hand will reach for the hilt of his blade.
Okay. So what this fellow immediately says, and he has an Ambrian accent, clearly not a local. It's just, peace, the peace of Prios, sir, the peace of Prios on you. I mean no harm. I saw your coat, sir. You are of House Ardagal.
Yes, that is correct.
I am Denji. I served with House Ardagal, sir, before finding my way to the new land. And there's something, a strangely healed injury about his face as well. Am I right, sir? You have not had this. You come by this crest honestly.
Yes.
Oh, good. Fellow servant of House Ardagal. Sir. Yes, sir. I served with House Ardagal. And I find myself well and far from the light of Prios now. Were you planning an expedition, sir?
I might be.
I still have a strong back, sir, and my one good hand. I still can serve, sir, but... And he kind of leans in close, and you realize like he's got the stench of an unwashed person for quite some time. And his clothes have like a grime to them that comes really only from living rough. And
I will pay attention to his hand and see if there is anyone else moving around, if this is some kind of clever distraction.
Yeah. Give us a vigilant check, please. First dice roll.
And so it begins.
Oh yeah. Ooh, so close.
Ooh. Okay, so you're trying, but I imagine like you're also trying to keep your attention on him, because he seems to be moving at one hand a little bit, and his one bum arm seems to be moving. And he says, "Sir, if only you could, I can serve, sir. But perhaps an advance, sir. So the war has left me with infirmaries, and only the medicures of the miracle master help me manage these infirmities, sir. They will not prevent me from being strong and helping, but the Miracle Master is back, they say. Please, sir. And you need not make a roll for it. Like, his eyes have a roomy pleading to them that you recognize. One of the unfortunate afflictions that some folks find in Thistlehold is the easy availability of many of the addictive and other recreational herbs and medicines. They call them medicures. Mendicaments is what the less generous would call them. And you have heard of the Miracle Master. He is one of the most notorious for spreading these among and securing the continued patronage of individuals like this sad soul.
Feel you might be better served turning to Prios. These are hard times, and you have served well and suffered for it. So Algai will reach into his coin purse and take out 5 shilling.
Whoa.
Whoa.
It sounds like that could be persuasion or persuasive, but it also sounds like you're trying to be, like, definitive in shutting down the further discussion of this. I could see that being resolute as well. Whichever you feel is appropriate. Give us that roll, please.
Yeah, I think having someone who served his house, it'll bring out more of the, lord of a house, someone in charge. It'll be more of a resolute. This is you've earned this.
Yeah.
But this goes no further.
Okay.
Resolute.
I was going to give you a modifier anyway. His resolute, given his circumstances, is not high anyway. I should have given you at least a -1, so that'll be a success. You can see that however far this person may find himself from service to your house, there is that lingering, long drummed in sense of, chain of command. And he listens to what you say, takes it, and he says, "The blessings of Prios on you, sir. Thank you." And then
Thank you for your service.
He sort of capers off in one direction, no doubt in search of the wares of their Miracle Master. You turn to leave, and you see that there is someone who is dressed like it's an Ambrian woman, a girl, probably in her maybe late teens, maybe early 20s, who seems to be, she is dressed like a noble, but she is dressed like a noble about town, as it were, or about things. It's the nobility's equivalent of roughing it. Not going into Davokar, but like riding through the countryside, roughing it. And she seems to be looking at you with a bit of a quizzical expression, like she's trying to place something. You could give us a vigilant check if you want to see if you recognize her. That's pretty good. She'd be probably, like almost 10 years older. But you would think this is the daughter of someone, a minor noble, that you used to know back in Albarador. And the way she is studying you, it's your face she's studying, as if she was trying to remember who you specifically are, not what your crest is. And with a 7, you know what? You got a success on that. This is... let me get the name here. I forgot to write her mother's name down. She is dead, so I did not think to write her name down. The mother's name is... I do like that they give you some suggested names for both Ambrians and the Barbarians. Am I in the wrong book? Nope, I'm in the right book.
Wonder if she's fully dead.
Yeah. We'll have to ask Miracle Max. Here we go. So the mother's name is Levia. Levia of House Furless. I'll put that in chat. I know we all went to high school with a Levia of House Furless, but this one, doesn't have the Y in it. So hold up. Levia of House Furless. And what you seem to remember is that they had 2 daughters. One of the daughters was Ravina, and the other daughter was Ilanda. I'll put those in chat as well. And you can't quite pick up... You think she may have been in the symposium, actually, that you were just at.
He will muster her back and then cross the street or the distance between them. Apologies for disturbing you, but are you of House Furless by any chance?
She looks up at you and... Sir Elgai.
My lady.
And she's almost like overcome with emotion. She's so surprised to see you and so pleased. She says, you live. In Prios's name, you live.
Yes, I've been one of the lucky ones to cross the Titans and get out.
Indeed.
As have you. I think it makes sense for him. He's trying to remember if this is Ilana or Ravina.
Yeah.
I think she will give it away before he has to actually name her.
Sure. I think what she does then is she says, "Forgive me, I should not impose. I am Ravina of House Furless, Levia's daughter." And you remember, I'll leave it to you to figure out or to tell us what your fond memory of Levia is, why you would have had that connection.
I was saddened to hear of your mother's fate. She had a voice to make the angels weep.
She is dearly missed, Sir Algai. What brings you to Thistlehold, then, sir?
I suspect what brings most people here. Hope for a new start.
You are a treasure seeker.
It's a term I'm not overly fond of, but desperate times, desperate measures.
Have you much experience?
No. I've been on one expedition. It didn't go in very far, so I
see.
Wouldn't call myself experienced.
But
what brings you here?
My sister. You may recall Ilanda, my elder sister. She thought much as you did, that something could be gained. She has been down here in the northern reaches for half a year. 3 months ago, we heard she led an expedition into the forest in search of something called the Dim Water. She has not returned. To my eternal soul, I know she still yet lives. I hear her name, Sir Elgai. I hear it in my dreams. My sister is the last of my family. And I have come, sir, to commission someone to find her and bring her back to me. And now, sir, Prios has brought you before me. And I can think of none I would trust more. And she puts her hand on your hand. None that my mother would trust more than you, sir. Is this
Helga is quiet for a moment and would sort of put his hand on his other hand on her hand and sort of give her a reassuring squeeze and sort of say, it would indeed appear that the lawgiver has made us cross path again. I'd be honored to see if your sister can be saved. It's the least I can do for the services your house has rendered.
Have you a team, a group?
We are yet to be tested, so I would not call us a team just yet, but I have assembled a motley crew of people that are willing to brave the forest with me.
Then, Sir Elgai, what I can offer is I can finance the expedition license that is required, and I will ensure it will be generous enough that you will profit from any that you bring back and fully finance the rations for your expedition as well. Is that sufficient, sir?
More than sufficient. I will admit that getting a license is something I've not quite achieved yet, so if that is something you can help with, then
most certainly. I
don't very much appreciate it.
You will need to apply at the Queen's, what is it called? The Queen's legation. But I will finance whatever costs are associated with that. I must confess I know not what this dim water is, nor have I... My focus has been on finding someone to find her, not to learn where she was. I am quite incapable myself of making this trip. But some of our family's fortune remains. And I am happy to put that at your disposal, sir, for this license, so that you might profit from this, and that you might bring my sister back to me.
I will try my very best. Prios' help.
I see Prios' hand in this already. The lawgiver favors our fortune. Where do you stay, Sir Elgai? And let me just run through a couple options for you here. Thistlehold has, for the discerning traveler, many different options for you to stay. You can stay in something that is exclusive. You can stay in something that is fine. You can stay in something that is ordinary, or something that is simple. Simple will cost you 2 shillings per week. Ordinary is 5 shillings per week. Fine is 1 taler per week. And exclusive, 1 taler per night. For those listening at home, we made a point of going through the economy and how much money everybody has on hand right now to get a sense of the value of coinage. So, where do you think modest then?
Yes, I think the ordinary. While he is of a noble house, he's obviously not known luxury for quite some time, thanks to the war, and probably feels that one has to be prudent in what means one has left.
Okay. So you were staying at
he'll be in a modest place.
Sure, a place called the Barrack. And I think that might be on our map here. Let's just quickly take a look at that. Inns the Barracks is page 14, or number 14, page 14. Which I guess is... I do love a map that just has absolutely no consistency with the numbers. There we go. That's one. So there you go. So you guys are way down here. Incidentally, this is Mayor Nightpitch's hold itself. And then the Queen's Legation is actually right there. So, she indicates she is staying at the Ruin, a place called the Ruin, which is a fine. So she's not staying in Elegance either. That is 13, which is right over here. So she says then, perhaps when you have arrangements made and when you understand what will be required of the costs, how long you will be gone, how much rations you will require, and the particulars of your explorer's license, please come find me, and I'll be happy to arrange for payment for all of those.
I will do so. You have my word.
I think the tears welling up in her eyes tells you everything you need to know about how happy she is with this arrangement. She takes your hand and is so choked by emotion that she cannot even say goodbye. And just sort of nods to you. And then leaves. So I believe that you had an arrangement to meet up with everybody else. Correct me if I'm wrong on this. But you were going to meet up with everyone else at one of the tavern called the Salons of Symbaroum, located near Toad's Square, the northern part of Thistle Hold. I know I don't need to tell you guys where Toad Square is, but just you know, for those listening at home, Toad Square is right up here. You know that big glowing, what do you call it, symbol or whatever, the light that you see at the top of that tower, right in the middle of Toad Square. And the, what is it, number 6? Right there, guys. That is where you will be meeting up. So, unless there's anything else you wish to do, Elgai, then we will turn our attention, I think, to our Witch Hunter and Theurg duo. So, Inder and Hador, what have you two been doing with your day before meeting up with Elgai? Elgai has said he was attending this salon to learn something about someone else's expedition. What do you think you guys have been doing with your time? Besides scaring the bejesus out of the unfaithful.
Hador can scare them, then I come in and give them a little, like, it's all right, there is hope.
You know, like, Hador looks more than a little bit like Begbie from the original Trainspotting, so he's got that, like, terrifying hair trigger look to him.
I mean, Hador is new to Thistlehold. He has learnt his craft and rituals in our former land of Alboretor. He's joined up with this group. He's arrived at this opportunistic town, and I think his initial activity would be to get the lay of the land, to start to listen to what the people are saying, to understand the worries and concerns that they have, the things that maybe they have encountered, just to try to get a background feeling for where he can target his expertise.
Sure. Why don't you give us sounds like you're being discreet, I think, right?
He's not very good at that, but I think maybe he is. Yeah.
Why don't you give us a discreet check? If he's just suddenly like, if you're being more pronounced with it, like maybe persuasion might be that, or
no, I think discreet.
Discreet? Yeah. Give us a discreet check.
That's right. And you will call out modifiers, won't you? If
I will call. Yeah, hold on. Let me grab my. You know why? No fucking GM screen. Come on, Madison. Good lord. Give me 2 seconds here. Where's my GM screen? Whoa. Okay. Graham, to make up for my errant attentiveness, I brought not one, but 2 GM screens. Because they have released 2. One of them's for exploring the Davokar, one of them is just for running the game. And of course, like USB luck, I've grabbed the wrong one. 50-50 chance, and I grabbed the wrong one initially. All right, let's say get +2. Remember, don't put the plus sign in, just put the 2 if it's a positive modifier.
There's a start.
Wonderful. All right. So, I think you have found. People have not been open to discussing things with you, and seem to be quite aware of your status as a witch hunter. I think perhaps you may not have been aware of, and again, like I guess you went also from like active fucking warfare against like unnatural horrors that would cause some people to never have a good night's sleep again.
Yeah.
And you've come back, and it's difficult to transition into the subtleties of this.
I think, without wishing, I may have made a bit of a name for myself.
Very much so. They're like, we know what you're fucking here for, you fucking lunatic. So Hadar has been making friends. What has Inder been doing with his time?
If perhaps Indor stopped by the local Sun Temple, I believe there's one
Let's see. I believe there is.
I think it's on the map. Anyway.
Here. Yeah, if it's on the map, then it's definitely there. Let me tell you a little bit about
28.
It. Okay. By the Park of the Elders lays the town's Sun Temple with its shining copper dome on its roof. The first Theurg is named Alfino, a priest mage who, despite his relative youth, is said to be one of the sun god's most powerful servants. At times, when the leader of the temple steps in instead of the liturgs who normally handles the sunset mass, the audiences get to experience something unforgettable. Those able to make their comparison claim that not even the First Father speaks with such passion of his love for Prios and humankind's appointed task to tirelessly and humbly cultivate nature, thereby cleansing it from the rampant forces of evil.
Yeah, he. I think Indor was left. Somewhat spent from his time in Alberator,
Yep.
and he's fresh. He actually, I think, waxes hopeful for a trip to Temple Wall when the chance allows, for a true stop in at the center of Prios's glory. And but he is making do with going by the this settlement town's Sun Temple.
Yeah, why don't you give us a Give us a cunning check, please.
Nice. While you jammed Hador with that cursed discreet roll, cunning's pretty good for me, actually.
Well, I mean, your payment came through, right, Sean? So,
right.
Okay, so I'm not sure what sort of reception Inder may have thought that he would receive in the Promised Land, but there is not a, like, we're all servants of Prios feeling among everybody here. The fact that you're coming in as a penniless and somewhat damaged, war priest, for a lack of a better term.
No one said anything about damaged.
Towing a witch hunter that you have tutored along with you. You have found the people who are part of the structure of the church less willing to recognize your wisdom earned through hard living, nor afford you a place that perhaps you may feel due to you, particularly given your labors in the old country. Which is to say, these politicking motherfuckers do not recognize what you have gone through to get here.
Turf wars.
Yeah. So you have an understanding of what, like, if you mention about, like, going to see Temple Wall, perhaps someone is going to say, and who's going to pay for that? You're like, what's that? What'd you say?
Disappointing.
Yeah, and I imagine, what do you think Inder is like as far as, like, maintaining his appearance as a priest of the Lawgiver?
I think he does his best, but it's been some hard times. I mean, Alberator, he stayed as long as he could, and until he had to go, and then the journey, and so he's a little ragged, and he was hoping to fill his tank, if you will. In fact, that's why Temple. He wants to go to Temple Wall, and he's stopping in here, and he was hoping for to meet some brothers of Prios's light.
Yeah.
And so it's all very disappointing, being instead, finding politics and being judged, and it's.
How has he landed then on joining a part of an expedition then? Is this, like, in your view, well, fine, if you fuckers aren't going to give me a place here, I'm going to burn the light of Prios into this dark forest?
Yeah, I think it definitely led there, because if he'd been met with open arms and said, "Oh, brother, you have fought the fight. Here is your seat at our table," he would have gone, "Yes, this is why I'm here." And that is not what happened. So he's like, "Well, I guess I'm with these folks. This kind. I'll bring the light of Prios to these people of the earth over here." Kind of thing.
Love it. Okay, so then. What do you think you have, in light of all we've talked about then, what do you think you have been doing for this day? Hador is just creeping out the neighborhood.
Right. Besides being disappointed by my being not received like I should be, I think he's probably, he probably planned, he had hoped to, like, spend it at the Sun Temple, like, catching up and meeting people, but that was just not to be. And so I think he went probably exploring, like, walking around, trying to get a grasp, because this is probably his first time to Thistlehold as well.
Okay.
And fairly remarkable. I think he underestimated it. Like, when he heard about it, he expected far less. Like that artwork of the gate is impressive. Like, you walk up to that, and you're like, whoa, like, hold on here, what is this? That gate is
if
nutty.
You have concern, just because I think it's a pretty cool description. Let me see if it's, I can't remember if it's in the core book or in here. So Mayor, here it is. Mayor Night Pitch's building is a wooden palace called the Night Home. The building is 3 stories high, stands atop a softly sloping, grass-clad hill encircled by a man-high fence, and the only other building on the plot stands by the fence guard and is occupied by the mayor's personal guard. The rumors swirling about Night Home and what can be found within are, of course, many. There is talk of vaults full of gold, walls draped in antique tapestries and facial masks, and not the least of the miraculous herbs growing on the roof terrace. For example, the moonlight-loving night rose and silver lily that emanate sweet sugar saps. If you stand before that and remind yourself of that this person who built this and all you see around you was once worse off than you are now and did not have the blessing of Prios. Inder, perhaps there's a prospect of you building something of your own.
I'll show them.
Nothing, is more appropriate for religion than spite-driven endeavors.
Absolutely. Revenge will be mine. Prios will see to it.
Having heard,
I know Hador will agree with me too.
Hador, knowing now, because I think we've got a sense of who Inder is right now. How does Hador react to that? Like, is he simpatico to Inder's sentiments towards that? Does he have a different perspective on things?
I think he's sort of naturally colder.
Okay.
I mean, he is sympathetic, and he knows that he owes much to Inder, and has great need of him and his closeness to Prios. But sitting behind that is a wearier cynicism and coldness that I think probably affects the way he sees him a little bit.
Was Inder your mother's confessor as well?
Yeah, maybe.
I think that's the backstory that they offered up for this. So, like, you've known him a long time.
Yeah. So, I mean, he owes him. He knows he owes him. And
Mother's confessor, is that a rank? Is that a position?
Sean, if you're trying to get at whether he is your mother's,
I knew you were going there.
lover.
I knew. I thought of it too, but I was able to hold off.
That is not, I think, what the implication was. I think that if I remember, it's something to do with either like she was sick or she was dying, and she like asked you to take him on. I think as a thing. So, Hador, from your perspective, has Inder changed in the time that you've known him?
Well, we all have, I think. And I think even Inder, with all his strengths, has had to endure the sort of horrors that we have seen. And I do look occasionally to try and see. I don't have the witch sight, so I can't see his shadow. But I do wonder that even in the light of Prios, is there something flecked in his shadow?
Interesting. Okay. Then I suppose you'll be on the way back from just wandering. Maybe, Hador, you finally find Inder once again, sort of ambling around. You're ready to...
I'm ambling around, so yeah.
Yeah. You may be able to remind him, or perhaps if you're accompanying him, like maybe you're just sitting back and like waiting, letting him do his thing.
Yeah, I
maybe
think so,
you'll remind him, like, look, it's getting late. Like, we were supposed to be at the salon.
Yeah, we must go, Inder.
Very well. Lead the way.
Okay.
And this place is vile, and he goes on a bit about shadows and nonsense and whatever.
There is a darkness to this place, I would agree.
So,
Indeed.
Friend and Ulafos. I don't want to lump the non-humans together necessarily, but we know that you two have come across one another now. that Elgai has tried to bring this party together. Friend is a mage, or a wizard at least. His former master, a part of the Ordo Magica. And Ulafos, you're a relatively new fortune seeker, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Or treasure seeker.
New but well trained.
Do you think you two... well, I guess first off, Friend, would you... Olafos does seem like he's... we're likely to learn that he's a friendly sort. Do you think Friend would be happy to have Olafos around, along with Flard? Flard does not really do much other than smolder.
I think Friend would be fine with that.
Okay. So what do you think we would see the two of you doing, knowing that what others think of ogres and goblins?
How long have we been... Well, how long has Friend been from wandering out of the forest, right? Because
I think probably a matter of months at most.
Okay.
What was the
So
backstory for
probably
how... I thought there was something about how Elgai and Friend came to meet one another.
I don't know.
Was it a hilarious mix-up where one of you picked up the other one's dry cleaning? I may be confusing that with something else. Well, I think it's at the back of the starter rules is where those backstories were. Here we go. So Friend... some years ago, maybe 5, maybe a dozen, you came wandering out of Davokar. You were empty, confused, and very hungry, and there it was, in a forest glade, a solitary cabin of what came to be your master. He took you in, gave you a hot meal, and called you Friend. Actually, you still don't know who he was, why he lived alone so close to the Davokar, and what, if anything, he was hiding from. But he gave you a language, a purpose, something like a life. And he taught you things, magical things, before he died. Accompanied by your flaming servant, Flaro, you've made your way out into the big scary world beyond the glade, and recently arrived in the settlement of Thistle Hold. On the road, you learned that people don't generally like you very much, but you're different, and others that look like you make fun of you for being small and scrawny. But a kind human named Elgai has offered you companionship and possibly a new purpose in life, studying the darkness of the forest to learn how to fight it. He calls it evil, but you're not so sure. For some reason, a part of you always feels sorry for those who dwell in the shadows of the wild. To you, they seem angry, not evil. Does that help?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so it has been out for a while. So he's, I don't know, maybe he's trying to, if that's possible, petition to the tower to find information, secrets. He's heard that might be a good idea.
What's he?
Right? Before
sure.
like you said in the intro, before you go into the forest, it's good
Yeah,
to
definitely.
seek knowledge in the tower.
So,
And I don't know how they will receive him.
no,
but,
and that's,
you
I
know.
think, worth... Oh, yes. So you have a trait called Pariah, which basically means you roll twice for any social checks. Why don't you give us
Okay.
2 persuasive checks with a bonus of +2, because you are a wizard, Harry.
So where's that is? Oh, they're persuasive.
So just click on persuasive, and when it asks you for a modifier, just put a 2 in. And you're going to roll that twice, and we take the worst of the 2 results.
Okay. Oh,
Okay.
there's the first one.
Okay?
Nice.
And the second
and the
one...
second one. Oh,
Oh,
so close.
No. Give us a cunning check at +2, please. And remember, don't put the plus sign. I'll say
Yeah,
+2,
when the
but-
world ends.
exactly.
There you go.
Davokar just swallows all of you. All right. So you are definitely, while people may think that you are big and dumb and slow and whatever, like, you're very, very bright. And you know that these people are coming up with bullshit reasons to not let an ogre into the tower.
Mhm.
So how does Friend react to that?
Well, I mean, he's a friendly sort. His wizard, his master taught him to be nice. So
He's also
not gonna
cunning, which
storm.
means maybe each time you go, there's a new excuse, and you've got like memorized every excuse they've given you, and you're slowly working your way through every single possible excuse they have. One of these days, they're going to run out of them and finally be like, fine, fucking come in.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I will share with El Guy when we meet the latest round of excuses.
Yeah, so maybe
And we'll try to put our heads
Olafos,
together.
you maybe, let's say that today you've gone once again back to there's some new nonsense one. You've mentally committed that to memory, and Olafos, you're watching this and thinking like, we could maybe just break in here. Like
We considered breaking in.
I hear wizards can do terrible things, but and then you see friend come back. Perhaps this is a if not daily occurrence over the last couple of weeks. It is a frequent enough that to expect that he's not going to be going inside. Although, am I correct in thinking, friend, that you told Olafos, when I go in, you don't need to wait for me.
Yeah.
I will find you again.
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
let them know when I go in.
Exactly. So Olafos, and once again, you come back, and once again, Olafos has been waiting for you.
You did not have to wait. I was almost in.
Of course, almost in.
You probably think, well, you were almost in yesterday.
Well,
It's
yeah,
true.
of course. Soon,
Closer.
friend, they will let you in.
We get closer. I do not understand. Today's excuse was that I might accidentally tear pages in a book, and I said, well, Flard's not going to turn the pages. Perhaps my friend a goblin will turn the pages. And they say, oh, goblins, and something about
Oh, you
sticky
should not have
fingers.
mentioned that. Yes.
Well, but I had to anyway. They are wrong. Clearly.
Of course they are wrong. Goblins do not have sticky fingers. Look, very clean.
Yes, you always lick your fingers after you eat. It's just preposterous.
Right.
I do not know. We will let the others know.
So what do you guys wish to do with your day then? I'm assuming this is fairly early in the day. Olafos, maybe you've got something planned because you knew he wasn't going to get in today either.
Yeah, well, I imagine that I'm always trying to do, I don't know, either sell information or do little tasks, just like he is,
Yeah.
barely scraping by, let's say. And
Yeah.
so, pennies, or even working for pennies all day just to buy some food that day is probably what you would see
Yeah.
Ulfos doing.
Do you think it's labor you're doing? Do you think it's back alley dice games for low stakes? Are you
I mean, it
pickpocketing?
wouldn't be. I don't think it would be gambling because that's the risk of money go down. I think it would be any kind of thing where money goes up.
Yeah.
That's his goal, and so
Give us a
he'll take
resolute
anything.
check. That sounds like just sheer determination of hitting each possible place. You got a job for me now? You got a job for me now? You got a job for me now?
Right. All right, here we go. Come on.
Oh, we'll get +2 as well. You did not need that. All right. So you guys you do find something that's going to be able to give you enough to keep yourself occupied for the day. It's probably some kind of labor-related thing, like either loading up or unloading a caravan.
Yeah.
And
This is just not a good use of my skills, Ulfios. Though I know Olafos, though I know you are well intended. I can do tricks and we could make money entertaining.
Could your magic move the goods?
I can make it look like the goods were moved.
That will not help us in the end.
It would be like like they were there, then they weren't, and then people will clap and throw money at us. It's more interesting than singing.
because you guys you rolled quite well, you were each paid 5 ortegs for your labors.
Hey, that's not bad.
Yeah. It's not nothing, I think it's a more correct way of describing it. But you realize, of course, it is that time of day now where you're supposed to meet up with the others at the salons of Symbaroum.
Yes.
So then,
We shall go.
with our heroes all making their way to the salons of Symbaroum, is there anything else, I guess, first off, that anyone else wish to do or check out or explore before you guys all meet up at the tavern? Okay, you heard that, folks. The players are demanding we start this adventure with a bunch of heroes meeting at a tavern.
Absolutely.
So, guys, why don't we take our mid-session break right now? We're already at almost 3 o'clock. Yeah, it's
Really?
yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
No, I'm glad this is a campaign then, because
Like I said, yeah, we're taking our sweet time. We have 8 pages to get through in 12 hours of play, so maybe
Nice.
we'll do
Easy.
it. I don't know.
yeah.
All right, for
All
those
right.
listening at home, we'll be back in about 5 minutes. All right. I don't want to alarm you, Sean, but it appears that you've got someone who is proselytizing behind you.
No! I feel a warmth, though. From this.
All right, who is the first to arrive at the salons of Symbaroum?
Hador, are you punctual?
Oh, you're muted.
Oh, you're muted. So, Timo.
Tamo.
It's that just back from a cup of tea, having muted yourself effect. Yeah, no, I think I am punctual. I think so. Probably you're right. It's probably myself, possibly with yourself in tow.
Yeah, maybe you've haggled me along. Like I'm like, okay. You know, I'm trying to hurry behind you. What's the rush?
Yeah.
Let me tell you what you're in a rush to get to. The salons of Symbaroum, or the salons for short, offer 3 stories of pure delight and 2 of the dirtier kind. Visitors may eat, drink, gamble, enjoy exotic shows, or pay for entrance to the top floor where they can appease various carnal desires. However, the latter is only an option during 6 out of the 7 days. What happens up there on the 7th is not commonly known, but there are 3 main rumors: meticulous cleaning, sessions with special guests, or occult rites led by Ordelia herself. Kev, who's Ordelia? None of your business. No. The proprietress of the salons of Symbaroum. So,
Who chose this place? Why was it El Guy?
here's a soldier.
Was it our foppish lord? I think he's testing us. I think he's testing us, Inder.
Indeed, to bring the light to this dark place.
It's the last thing they want in this place, I would expect.
We should open a window, my friend.
Well, yeah, I think at least.
Yeah, and it is. I'm picturing that it's being like midsummer-ish right now. So you guys could there's like places set up outside so that, you know, to make other people not feel uncomfortable, let's have the priest sit outside.
I think actually I don't see Hador as a Puritan.
No, love it.
I don't think he is actually. Not at all. But occultic rites? No, it better not be that.
So, although that is one of the rumors, right? So perhaps, like, you know, as you're sitting down, eyes drift up to the 3rd floor of the thing, trying to keep track of what day it is. Although it's only truly a witch hunter who would be keeping track of how many days a week the brothel's open. So,
Yeah.
So Hador and so is it Hador or Hador? What's your preference?
Hador.
Hador. So Hador and Inder are the first to arrive here, prompted by Hador's punctuality. If you think it's because there's also a brothel that operates here, you are very mistaken. He is prompt for everything, guys. Just because Sally works here, it has nothing to do with his punctuality. So the two of you sit down. Who is the next to arrive? Elgai or Friend and Ulafos?
I mean, I feel like we're going to be late because we were.
Yeah, I think we're gonna be late.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
because you're working. So then I guess it's Sir Elgai who arrives. Sir, it's Elgai who arrives.
That's that guy for now, yeah.
So you,
Hedor, Inder, it is good to see you. You found the place okay then?
Indeed, Elgai. It is good to be here. Good to see a familiar face.
My lord.
he says from beneath the mask, "So good to see your familiar face."
Is
he fucking with me?
irony.
What's he-
irony whatsoever. Yeah, no irony whatsoever.
What's the expression on Elgai's face?
I think there's a bit of like a sort of determination, bit of a spark in his eyes. No, that he has a goal, something to strive towards.
Yeah,
rather than just sort of idling about and trying to figure something out.
The talk that he was just at may have been beneficial. Do you think that's evident to anybody, or is he trying to conceal it whatsoever?
No, he will not try to sort of conceal it from Hedor or Inder.
Yes. So the two of you, you can pick up like, oh, like so he's got something on his mind here. There's either there's a determination or there is a lack of the listlessness that you've seen of late.
You perhaps are the warmest face we've seen. Would you agree, Hedor?
Warmest, sir? You could describe it like that, yes.
Oh, have they not been treating you well here? This place came highly recommended. I've not been before, but all the members on the previous expedition spoke very highly of it.
Someone walks by and it's like, hi, Hedor.
I sort of doff my cap. It is a most pleasant place.
Well, I confess I have not found the welcome of the settlement to a speaker of the sun god to be what I expected. But I'm sure things will change. Things will as I become a more accustomed face in this place, that I'm sure it will change.
Well, the lawgiver has guided my steps today, Indra. You'll be glad to hear.
Do tell.
I shall wait for our other two friends to join us.
Oh, suspense. I like it.
I think as you guys are saying, there's drinks are brought over, maybe a little bit of food is brought over, and you would then see maybe a half hour after you guys arrive, you would first see Friend making their way along and people making room for Flard, who is, stalking along beside him.
There they are.
You assume Olafos is somewhere down there, but...
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Friend's talking to someone. I mean...
Yeah. Yeah.
He
And you know
just
that
keeps
Flard isn't
talking.
much of a conversationalist, so...
I imagine when
I think we
Ulafos-
made good money because we were very efficient.
Yes. I think when you see Ulfos walking through a place like this, his eyes are always on the ground, and he's looking for any pennies or what are they called? Any
Ortegs.
any Ortegs that could have fallen in the mud or on the floor, and no one else can see them because they're so tall. And he's sort of like, checking the floor.
Yep.
I mean, heaven forbid that someone dropped a shilling.
So, you then spy them. Elgai, perhaps, well, either you... Who has a higher cunning... who has a higher vigilant score? Elgai, Hedor, or Inder? I say that having the character sheets right in front of me. Like, what the fuck, Madison? Hold on. I can find this answer right away. 10 for the Witch Hunter.
Hedor is the winner then.
Yeah, Hedor.
Hedor.
Really?
Twice as vigilant as me. Twice.
Yeah.
Okay. We've all got our weaknesses.
Yeah.
I have mine.
I'm always pondering on the lawgiver's wisdom.
So, Hedor, you were the one to spot Friend perhaps first, and you wave him down. Odd making friends with such creatures, but he very much lives up to his name. He's an exceptionally friendly brute.
Oh yeah, and I have to admit, I do enjoy the reaction he has to people.
I imagine.
As much as anything else, I watch the ripples as he comes in, as much as looking at him.
And you find that Flard takes sort of a position, near the entrance of this thing as a Friend, and you see Ulafos is still eagerly, as always, eyes going from side to side on the ground, trying to see if there's any loose coinage.
Olifos.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Hadar. Yes. He'll take a seat at the table.
Well, today's excuse, Elgai, and I tell him the excuse for the day.
He's Are you sure gaining entrance is that important, friend? These people seem very obstinate and not deserving of your visits.
Well, I just have heard that is a good thing to do, and I am very good at looking at lore. My master kind of showed me.
Did you
Isn't that
discuss something called the dim water with your master?
Oh, that's a good question.
Why don't, let's see here. So this one's going to be a little more challenging. Let me get to let's see here. Oh ho! Okay, this will be, I found the modifiers table. I think this will be hard. So this will be -3. So those of you who have spent time trying to ask around and learn about sort of what's going on, from what I've heard, that would be Elgai, Hador, and Friend. You could give us a cunning check at -3.
Okay.
Just you just may have come across this in one way. Fucking crit from Elgai. Holy smokes.
Wow.
So you've been holding off talking about this until you got here. Hador, you've heard something about this as well, it seems.
Not
So
myself.
Not so much, no. But I mean, it's again the hard difficulty of this would speak to, like, it's just not one of the more well-known things. So the dim water. So maybe just so it's not, it's not that like you just stood along and didn't say anything when you met with her. Maybe you just didn't put 2 and 2 together until Hador makes a comment on it, and then you're like, oh, and then all the other substantive stuff that might be learned. Okay, let's see here. It is, so dim water is, I think Hador, what you say is, do they mean the Kalea Mahar Cemetery? Because it's said to be a series of crypts that is located next to this mist-soaked, said to be very dark and cursed lake called the Dimwater. And Elgai, with that, you're like, of course it's the Dimwater. So you think, let me put it in chat. I know we all, once went to high school at the Kalamahar Cemetery. Everyone goes there as a field trip, but in the event that they've changed the naming. Kalea Mahar Cemetery. And that is when you think, Elgai, like, they're talking about the legend. The dim water is referencing the lake of Kahalaran. So dim water is what fortune seekers call it, or fortune hunters call it, but it's the legend, at least what the barbarians will call it, is Lake Kahalaran, because it's said that it was once a site that was a base for a cult of demon worshippers, and that those worshippers suffered the fate, or rather the wrath, of Prios, where a massive beam of light, heavenly power, seared this entire community down so deep that a lake, then water flowed in, forming Lake Kahalaran in the hollow of what remained of that cursed community. And let me tell you a little bit, with that Nat 1, I'll give you a little bit of other information here. You've heard that there is a burial site, and the burial site is about 8 days travel into the woods. And let me show you here. Into Davokar. So from Thistlehold, it's pretty much right around there. So only 11 feet. It'll be
Shouldn't take
totally
long.
fun. Yeah.
A couple of squares, nothing really.
We can bring our drinks. I mean,
Let me show
Oh,
you
here we go.
on the hexa map here. So
there you go.
it is about there. So it's about 8, somewhere around here. So 1, 2, 6, 7. Yeah, about 8 days travel through Davokar. This is Bright Davokar you'll be traveling through. So 8 days, assuming you don't stop anywhere else, assuming you don't run into anything else, as soon as you don't have to retreat at some point. 8 days to get there and 8 days to return. It's not necessarily a bad strategy to plan for an expedition taking twice the time it takes to travel. You do not know what you come across in the interim. There are ruins all over the place here that seemingly are revealed and concealed by the very forest itself. And if you can get a explorer's license with the approval that you need, you could keep all the treasures, all the relics, all the resources that you find over the course of your expedition.
I am inexperienced in the ways of Davokar, apart from the rumor that I have heard at Thistlehold. Bright Davokar is mentioned. How safe is it, I ask?
Well, I can lead us safely through there.
Can you, Olifos?
Of course. That's why I'm here, right?
You've been there before.
Indeed it is.
My people have been there before.
Hmm.
You cannot see Inder's eyes behind his mask. We have a feeling that there was some serious side-eye with Hador there.
Yeah, it's important that I vocalize my expressions since you cannot see them.
Yeah. Yeah, quietly Hador's thinking, you know, he does just fit in with that mask in this place, but there we are. Is it wise for us to head south of the forest and follow its outer border and then work our way into the forest to this location rather than traveling through Bright Davokar? I just asked a question, Olifos. I'm sure you'll have a view.
Oh, yeah. Great idea. I like that.
Well,
Safe.
actually, Ulafos, you know, one downside there, you know what you're not going to find outside of Davokar?
Oh, treasure.
Treasure.
Yes.
Ruins, the treasure to be found within.
Just pots of gold lying, waiting for you.
So I believe the licenses we need are also very, very specific and bureaucratic, and I think traveling along the forest brings us into someone else's domain. I'm not familiar with this licensing system, but I've been told it's very, 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 very specific.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. So to give you guys a sense of the costs associated with an explorer's license, would that you were going to bring it out yourself. And remember, Taylor's the gold coin, shilling, silver, Orteg, the penny. For 5 people for 1 month to simply travel there. 10 Taylor.
Oh.
For you to be able to gather while you are there. So you're not just bringing your own supplies in. Between 3 to 10 Taylor extra. To harvest from there. 5 to 12 taler extra. To explore ruins there, 5 taler per person. To bring a wagon, 5 taler per wagon. And
we can sell shovels for people going there, it seems.
again, the person who makes the money, the one selling the shovels. Yeah, let's see here. There is also for incompetence and for intentions, but I don't quite understand what that's referring to. Oh, here we go. It comes from the supplementary cost for incompetence and intentions. The former related to the wildlife experience of the group. So if you're not experienced at traveling, they're pretty sure you're not going to come back with anything to tax. They're going to charge you ahead of time.
Wow.
Yeah. And the latter is based on the assessment of what degree the expedition's aim may be considered disturbing or provoking. So intending where you intend to go also depends on this. This actually works in your favor because the cemetery near Dimwater is actually a place that is said to have been picked over.
Oh. We definitely have to try to stop somewhere else on the way.
And we're hearing, we're learning about this licensing cost now, Kevin? Is that right? Are we picking that up?
Al Guy, you probably would, because you wanted to form a group of this, you probably would have looked into this beforehand too. So do you think now is the time you're breaking the bad news to them?
I think this is when as we talk about the lights, he says, and also, but the good news is, and the reason why I think we should head to the Dimwater, and you like this Indrid, it's obviously already been chosen by Prios. I ran into an old family friend who is in need of assistance. Her sister is missing, and her expedition headed towards Dimwater. And she's very keen for her sister to be returned and is willing to cover the costs of the license.
Oh.
Her house seems to have fared, or her and her sister seem to have fared slightly better on their journey from Alberator. And she is willing to part with some of her thalers to grant us the license.
And all she wants is her sister back? Any treasure we find is ours.
I believe she is concerned about her dear sister, yes. And anything else we find along the way would be for us to keep and do with as we see fit.
Of course, the poor sister. We must find her.
So could everyone give us a cunning check, please, at, think here. I think just a flat cunning check. Let's just see what comes of that. Okay.
Another one.
Getting those 20s out of your system.
Oh. Sorry.
Okay. The Inder's 9, 10 for Ulafos. So Ulafos, there's one thing that... So he just said that they're going to the sister. What was the sister doing at the cemetery near Dimwater?
Interesting. What was she doing?
Because didn't someone say that place was picked over already?
Yeah, something valuable there.
And someone said something about cult activity.
Uh-oh. Is she a cultist?
The family are devout followers of the teachings of the lawgiver.
The scouring of that place, that historically, that would have occurred before the fall of Symbaroum. So we're talking like thousands of years ago that this occurred. So it's not... It could very well be that there is some cult activity, but like these are ruins that have been untouched, or at least have been in place for 2,000 years, give or take.
Oh. What would she be doing there?
Indeed. Did she say, Elgai, why her sister would be delving into the dangerous forest to this location?
Did she
She
mention
did not.
any dark rituals or bizarre practices that she may be looking to undertake deep in the dark forest?
Maybe she gained some knowledge of places that have not been picked over. By all accounts, it is a vast complex.
Hmm.
Maybe there are places that have not been picked over. But I do not. I did not think to ask at the time. I was pleased to see a familiar face and to be able to offer aid to someone in need.
Indeed.
As I said, I felt Prior's guidance.
Indeed. And payment, I assume. Was that correct, Elgar?
In the manner that the fee for the license would be covered and that anything we find along the way would be ours.
I see.
Food as
Very
well.
good.
Your basic rations.
Oh, very good.
Oh, good. Can we? Are we to carry? So we'd want to bring 16 days of rations. Is that if
You probably
With our
want to like err on the side of a month.
Mm.
If you have to
Wow.
spend days resting for creatures, for weather, for whatever, a month would probably be a reasonable length of time.
Mm.
Who can carry that much food?
Yeah, do we need a wagon then? I suppose.
You
Or
have
at
an
least
open.
there you go.
No, there are actual like
Well,
trail rations that you can prep. That's what she
Small.
would be getting for you. Is not like
Yeah.
proper meals. It's sort of, I can't remember if they're elven or not, but I have a feeling they might be.
Then we could carry a month's worth. They're
Yeah.
that kind of. Okay, very good.
Because who doesn't love eating 30 days of lembas?
Basically acorns.
Awesome. Elf crackers again. Mm.
Mm.
Okay, where is it here?
Prios will provide.
I mean, also the you can hunt and scavenge and whatnot along the way too, so long as you're well, you can do whatever the hell you want. Trouble is, if you run into wardens and don't have the license to do what you're actually going to do, you know, that rarely ends well.
Mm.
All
A bunch
right.
of beverages here. Okay. Then, whey bread, guys. One loaf of this rich whey bread corresponds to a week's food supplies for one person. So you're just each going to carry 4 loaves of bread, and you'll be good.
Okay.
And just to give you, holy shit, a context, a loaf of whey bread costs 1 taler.
Mm.
That's an additional 4 taler that's
Wow.
being covered for. Yeah, everything's expensive.
Actually, we just learn how to make bread.
Yeah, seriously.
That's what we do. Instead of looking for treasure, Olafos,
Right.
we just collect
Yeah,
acorns.
Actually, we
Franchises?
get enough money to start a bakery. That's
Yeah.
a goal.
And we already have. We have an oven. And friend laughs. Maybe it's like a snort.
Now I will.
Scares people.
Yeah.
Maybe points to
Nice.
lard. It's a walking oven, even. See, entertainment. We could. Anyway. That is my scheme that Olafos will not entertain. I can make children happy by
So-
making butterflies, and
I will point out
people will
that
clap.
if you wish to try to negotiate for like more payment or money up front or something like that, if there's other shit you want to buy, it's something you can try doing with her.
Mm.
She has
Or
just
at least asking why her sister was there. I mean, if she's willing to discuss it with you delicately, Elgai, it might help us learn where she is specifically.
I can ask. She might not know.
I do
Yes,
not
yes.
think she will know.
Is she going to want to leave with us? Should we bring a rope to tie her up in case this is against her will?
I have chains.
Ah, chains, good.
There's a woman who walks by with chains all across her body. Hi, Hador.
Hey.
But if Elander is lost in Davokar, I'm sure she would appreciate being rescued. And if, as you seem to intimate, she's up to no good, then we shall deal with that as it unfolds.
Yeah.
Indeed.
If we have to cut the darkness out of her, then we will. But let us see.
The light will come. We don't know anything about her her party, do we? Was it a large?
Ravina did not provide much detail. We very focused on getting her sister rescued. But they have not returned in some time, so it stands to reason that something has befallen them. But she's convinced that I mean, she did mention she could hear her sister's voice in her dreams. Which at the time I thought was just, a sisterly connection, but now that you've mentioned possibly something more nefarious going on.
Oh, that's very strange.
This land is strange.
Metagame level 2, one of the things that is very cool about the setting is there's a lot of details about NPCs and other things in there too. So one of the things that is true of Thistlehold is of any place that is active and has competitors in it is that it is full of fucking gossips. So if you want to try and find more information about that, you might be able to ask around and find out who, because you don't just know stuff, you're taught things by somebody or you find out information from somebody. The sister may have asked around, may have attended some salons, may have consulted with the library at the Ordo Magica. Friend, I hate to break it to you, some people do sometimes get in. So.
Well, she would have needed to ask for a license.
Yeah, go ahead and get it, right.
Maybe someone is willing to tell us what her license was for.
Oh, good point.
Although I suspect that such things that are normally divulged so much require a skill set I do not particularly have to get that information.
Yes.
Who might bribe the person or cajole the person into giving up that information, I wonder. That information would be at the Queen's Legation. That's where all the records of such licenses are issued.
It is an excellent suggestion, considering that we are indeed, in fact, applying for a license to rescue her. So it is a completely appropriate inquiry that I think could be pressed. So let's do just that. Perhaps some of us go for the license and pursue that path, and some of us want to see about rumors about that area. If anyone's interested in that, perhaps.
And visit
I
the
may be
library
able to
for
have
rumors.
Library, indeed.
So
I may
They
find
love you there. Right?
contacts.
Hater comes in, everyone scatters like cockroaches in a light coming on. All he needs to do is get hold of him once. The license for 5 people, then base value for a month is 10 Taylor. Do you wish to have gathering rights?
Gathering is like artifacts? Is that what that means?
Gathering is for like trying to live off subsistence while traveling.
That cost is ridiculous. So if we want to hunt, it's like 5.
I love it because it expressly says the arbitrariness of the system angers most people, particularly when it comes to the supplementary cost for incompetence and intentions, where they assess you how much of a fuck up you are and be like, yeah, you're probably going to die. It's going to cost you an extra 25 Taylor. So
Brutal.
Wow.
Okay, so gathering. I'm assuming you wish to have that.
Yes, of course. I'm like talking to the guy. What?
Yeah.
Yes. What?
So you're preparing what you're going to apply for the thing.
Yeah.
You wish to have harvesting rights as well.
Yes.
for berries
Yes.
and other herbs and such. You wish to explore.
Well, yes, we must, because we're rescuing someone, my good man.
You can hear scribbling as they're adding more numbers onto it. Will you be bringing any wagons?
No, I don't believe we will.
It's not a bad...
Do we?
Oh,
Will we?
quick-
Okay.
Quick question on that, Kevin. My character sheet says that I have it says horse, saddlebags.
Oh, you do have a horse.
Does that
Forgive me.
include
Yeah,
does that
then,
include a horse? Or it's just the saddlebags I rescued and then dragged myself across the Titans? I'm happy with either.
okay, hold on. I'll tell you, because in the core book, they gave you some great options or great information about gaining entry to Thistlehold. So the base price for entering the hold is 1 shilling per leg or per wheel. In other words, 2 shillings for a man, 4 shillings for a horse. And then if you add a wagon in, jeez, I mean, just, then there's the 10% taxes that goes on top of that.
Just mortgage the house and go on. Just move. Just...
Nighthold didn't build itself, so.
Right.
So
Right.
yes, you would have that as well. That would be on your bill of passage, right? Like all of you guys have a copper ring that you received when you were granted entry to Thistlehold, and you got a bill of passage that allows you shows that you're entitled to go and leave and what your reason for that is. So wagons, then. Do you wish to? I mean, I'm not saying you can afford it, but do you wish to purchase a wagon or claim any wagons? Just
I
a
don't
horse?
believe so, eh? Elguy, you do have a horse? What was determined? You have a horse, Elguy?
I think so. Yeah.
I assume so.
Yeah. If it's on the
Yes, I
sheet,
do.
then absolutely.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
good. No wagon then, I think, unless anyone has a different idea.
Okay.
I do not have a secret wagon.
So you're going to incur the wagon penalty then, wagonless penalty. Okay.
This is a Kafka-esque game. I had no idea.
It's pretty incredible how much. You can tell this is a game that they clearly played a lot of before putting pen to paper for it,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Because this is great stuff. Okay, so regardless, if you cover all those areas, that's fine because she's going to cover the cost of that. So you'll have 1 month to pretty much do whatever the hell you want in there. Whatever your levels of relative incompetence and intentions. I will tell you the level of intentions is going to be relatively low because of where you're intending on going. So that's good. Well, there's also an other category. I think we're good. We're good. There's no other fees that need to be charged on that. So that's what you're applying for. So then the thing is, these are quite rigorous in their application. So when do you wish to have that one issued? Do you want to be leaving like tomorrow, or is there other stuff you guys need to get ready? How long do you want to spend asking around before you set out?
Should we give ourselves a couple days? Is that
To gather everything, maybe. Yeah.
for supplies and rumors and I don't know. Or no. What do you think?
I guess
I can go and talk to Ravina tomorrow and know where she's staying. Ask her some questions, tell her that we're willing to do this and discuss the license and the payment for it with her. Which will give you more time to maybe ask around. Will you leave the day after?
Yeah. So 2 days hence.
Okay. So this will leave Ulithos and friends sleeping rough.
Oh yeah.
For those, you said it's going to be 2 days that you're going to be waiting. Okay.
Yeah.
Then that'll be 1 shilling. Well, hold on. Inder and Hador, you're staying at the barrack, right? Oh, you're staying there too, aren't you, Elguy?
Yes.
So that'll be 1 shilling for each of you for the remaining 2 nights that you'll be staying there.
Okay.
And who wants to start? with we got 2 days of investigation. I have great news about the exploration license, guys. You have been approved.
Hey.
Oh,
And it's been covered. Yep. Absolutely.
nice.
Make sure you get a lot of stuff because we want to tax it when it comes back.
It's a sign. Prios approves. I knew it.
Who would I start? I heard El Guy's going to talk to Ravina. Is Friend going to try and get back into the Ordro Magica library to try and find more information, or have you given up that for now? Friend? Carl?
What's that? What are we going to do?
Are you giving up the efforts to get into the Ordo Magica library for now, or you have 2 days to kill?
No, we're going to try to get in.
Okay, and then what about Hador and Inder? Anything you guys wish to do? And Olafos, I'm assuming you're not just waiting outside watching
Yeah, you don't have
Friend
to.
get turned away again, but maybe you're doing that.
I mean, I'm doing the same thing every day, just trying to scrape by a living and have some food to eat.
Okay.
You know.
And sorry, Hador and Inder, what are you guys thinking of doing for 2 days?
Scare the locals. I think I will use my contacts trait.
Nice. Okay.
Try that, and I can just make a roll, but with a successful roll against persuasive, which is a 50-50, depending on the modifier, I can call to mind a contact. Should be able to help with specific question. My question that I'm trying to get an answer for is some more about the location, what's known about it, and maybe better, a word to see if I can corroborate what that particular expedition was after.
So I'll tell you, your contact, I actually think I didn't transfer it to the roll 20 character sheet. Your contact is specifically listed as the Ordo Magica.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Oh, all right.
And then yours, Inder, you have one as well, and yours is with the Sun Church. So you can do the same thing too. You got the trait of contacts with the Sun Church. You can make a persuasive check, try and get help from your contact.
Nice. I'm in. I was interested as well. I don't know if that would help with any chance it would help with finding out what they purchased the license for, but that would be a question someone could pursue, if not me.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, if they can't, they may not be able to give you direct access, but maybe they might be able to introduce you to somebody who could do that.
I mean, if there's even a possibility that she had in her party a member of the Sun Church, I mean, it's not outrageous.
Yeah, no, that's not. It isn't. Okay, then, who do we wish to start with?
Friend, you want to try to get in again?
Well, I was going to ask if maybe, I guess El Guy's doing other things, but maybe he can help. But, because truth be Olafos is no help.
They actually harm your chances. So, can me and my dirtbag friend come into the fine wizard book place? No?
It's like, he's my apprentice. Anyway.
We struck out again, friend. Okay, so El
That's an
Guy,
idea.
you've got the offer to, or friend is requesting that you might help him offset the racism of the Ordo Magica.
I will certainly try my best.
Okay.
Not an institution I have much familiarity with.
So here's one benefit you've got, though. Your trait is privileged. You get to re-roll one social challenge, but only if the goal is difficult or questionable. And I think it is. You're trying to convince them to, let a long-standing person they've been trying to refuse over and over again get in. I think I'll let you re-roll that. So basically, you're rolling twice to try and gain access, if that's what you'd like to do.
Yeah, I think he would like to see friends succeed, and obviously there's knowledge to be gained inside, and not just the right thing to do. Like, these people are just because he's an ogre.
Yeah, he was trained as a wizard.
Yeah.
By a member of the Ordo.
He's one of them, right? He does magic, so.
Yeah. So, how do you wish to? So we're starting with that. what do we see as Elgai and friend approach? And let me tell you what the Tower of the Ordo Magica, guys. Let's see here. It is highly conductive. Don't touch if you're wearing armor. That's weird. The Tower of Ordo Magica is, besides the beacon, the tallest building in Thistlehold, reaching 7 stories high. It stands on a plot surrounded by a stone wall, a plot where novices of Chapter Master Cornelio grow and study various herbs salvaged from the forest. A short time ago, they discovered a flammable oil can be extracted from the Damdra seed, something that's resulted in large-scale and very troubled excavations on the turf of a lindworm. Remember how much fun we had with lindworms, Jeff?
Oh, yeah.
We destroyed a northern Canadian town with one in our guard campaign. So,
Wow.
Yeah.
it happens, lindworm. It's a tough infestation to get rid of, you know? So you'll be approaching this massive wall where friend has been turned away time and time again. Ulafos, you joining along for moral support again, or are you holding back this time?
Yeah, he's waiting for friend to come work with him on some job or something after he is turned away.
Well, maybe friend can hide around the corner.
I will stay
Elgai
out of sight
says-
if you think it will help, friend.
Well, no, I mean, if I hide around the corner and Elgai says, well, I have this mage friend of mine who, you know, I don't know,
A trick.
it could work.
Okay, so Elgai, you walk your way up to this fella, and this is you calling on your, you know, the rank of station or whatever. Like this is the class system in all its, you know, grandeur. It'll be difficult, so it'll be -5, but you do get to roll twice and take the better of the results.
-5.
Yeah, it's tough.
That's tough, as it gets.
Do you have anything to call, like any situational things to call in for this, do you think?
So
Because that's just the
rescue.
He's a rescue ogre?
No, we're
Yes,
rescuing.
yeah,
We're rescuing.
Oh,
a
you're
fair
rescuing.
maiden.
Got it.
Rescuing a fair maiden, like in the tales, like in the tales.
But you're
not from a
definitely
breeder.
appealing to
We rescued
the,
him.
you know, the Queen's Legate here for sure, on that count. But
Well, I think if he's talking like this of the person at the gate, he will not like spin the tail, but sort of say this is in aid of an expedition, you know, aimed at rescuing someone. And yeah, so he'll call upon like sort of what he hopes is like the good cause,
sure.
and that it's not just for, you know, filthy lucre or glory, but it's like we're trying to rescue someone. The knowledge that you hold within your hallowed tower might help with that. And I do have a friend who is a scholar, a lore master who would benefit enormously, and therefore I would be, you know, and House Artegal would be very indebted and grateful if ingress could be granted.
Sure. Why don't you? I'll reduce that then to -3. So it counts as +2. You still get to get the double rolls. It's just that you got a situational modifier. A few Ortegs. I have pennies, huh?
Well, that's how. Yeah, our bribe will be grand.
So is this persuasive?
Persuasive, please. Yeah.
Yeah.
You roll twice and take -3 to each of those rolls.
Oh,
That's probably not the one you want.
Do you know who I am? Come on. No.
so close.
So close.
I'm gonna use my reroll because I really want friend to gain entrance
Hell
to
yes.
this tower.
Go ahead. I'll let you
come
read because
on.
it's technically, this isn't what's called a reroll. It is called a second chance. So you can go ahead and reroll twice.
Okay.
Oh,
The rules is written. I don't know if that's how that works, but
Come on.
Oh,
there you go. So, you know, it may have been a while since you've had to put on that, like, the commanding, like, I'm going to say something, you're going to fucking do it. and that you slip right back into that. And this person, you know, and it's probably the same person who's turned friend away for 2 weeks every day, you know. And friend, you now have access to the Ordo Magica. Now, you mentioned Lore Master. It's worth remembering, I did not, I do have and was trying to justify the purchase of the abilities and traits deck, but then I ran out of time and didn't actually lay out what each of you guys have. So I don't remember what you guys have. If you have an ability, though, that may benefit you in this stuff, please be sure to remember that, or just take a look at them and remind yourself, because I think Lore Master does something.
Yeah, it's with the regards to artifacts, but if there are artifacts from that place, maybe, then in here,
test
then...
cunning to... Oh, okay, so that's only for that.
He's still pretty good cunning, though.
Yeah, and I think there's certain things that you, like... Just in the examples I remember reading in the starter set, like one of the other things they sort of suggest is like, oh, if you've got this ability, then you'll be able to know X, Y, Z, right? Like it's sort of, it's more than just what's listed on your thing. It's also intended to be like, if you've got, I can't remember what the survival one is that Ulafos has. Bushcraft, yeah. If you've got Bushcraft, then you're able to do certain things that nobody else can do, but it's not necessarily specified on the power card or your ability card. So, all right, so friend, you're going to have access to this library now. Tell us what it is that, and I think the guy is kind of impressed with your flaming, you know, minion that comes stalking in with you.
Yes, I would keep him away from those seeds that you all have found recently.
Not a bad plan. Not a bad plan at all. It's a giant green explosion from where the Tower Oro Magica used to be. Okay, so then, friend, you're going to have access to that. The guy... Okay. And it's not like begrudgingly, El Guy, like that's a really good roll. So this guy is fully on board with that. It probably means that next time friend gains access to this, he's not going to suffer from that, at least from this specific access, from the, what's that thing called? Pariah trait. You've talked him out of, you know, not being a racist. He's not not a bigot anymore. He's just for this specific one. He thinks he's one of the good ones. So... That's really gross to say. I'm very sorry, guys.
Yeah.
So with friend having access, friend, what is it you're specifically looking for?
I'm looking for tales of the. Well, one did this. You had mentioned that this one, the woman who's gone missing, went here. So if you could know what they studied.
To Dimwater.
Yeah, to Dimwater, and if no one knows or he cannot find anyone who knows, then he will study the Dimwater or things on the Dimwater, and especially the...
Okay, so I don't know if... There's a chance that, like, talking to librarians, they may remember her, and if she accessed here. So if that's what you wish to do for sort of the first day of study, that's...
Yeah, that seems
okay.
reasonable, yeah.
So that's probably a persuasive check.
Okay.
And...
I still get some pariah thing, right?
You do get the pariah thing. Shit.
It's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, in contrast, if we run into some ogres in the forest or trolls,
and that's the thing, because you get to roll again. With ogres, you actually get the reverse of it, like you're. Yeah. Okay, so we'll give us a try. What if you get 2 rolls? Yeah. I think the difficulty will be... Let me see. Is the default difficulty in the game 0, or is it like +2 the way it is in some other games? Normal is... let's say +1. So roll against 11.
Okay. So...
Like asking what people... I imagine there's a lot of people who are asking.
Right,
okay, so one.
The first one.
Here we go.
What happened? Did I?
Oh, you clicked on pariah instead of clicking on persuasive.
Okay, sorry.
That's okay. So persuasive at +1.
Why is it not letting me roll? I'm putting. Oh, I'm dumb.
You're clicking on pariah, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's.
Dang. So now you do have a reroll. You do have a reroll.
I do. I can try. Yeah, I'll try that.
Okay.
I mean, why spend hours so I can save some
Hell
time.
yeah. So, friend, you're living up to your name in spite of it. Like, they find, while they were maybe a little standoffish at first, once you start speaking to the people here, they're quite happy to discuss and gossip about what's happened here. Maybe, like, when you tell them who your master is, there's a bit of a, like...
Recognition? That'd be interesting.
Well,
Because,
there might be recognition, but also it's a matter of, like, like... in a certain profession, when like someone makes a dramatic change in their career, but nobody knows why, there's sort of that gossip, like, why the fuck did he do that? He's doing this now. Like, what happened? So this librarian may have been someone who is like, your master was so-and-so? Do you know why he moved to the glade near Dabakar?
No, but maybe you might.
Oh, no.
Well, we can speculate.
Yeah, and they may share some speculation about, like, there was a dispute in there. If you have any ideas, Carl, I'm happy to incorporate that into your...
Well, you put some... I feel there were some hints in what you gave me. I'll have to read that through again. Let me check it out.
Okay, so here's what you otherwise find. Let me see here. She... I'm sorry, I was trying to find the specifics. So she was asking about the following. She was asking about Lafarda's tower. I'll put that in chat. Apart from, what you learned about Dimwater and Kahalaran, or Dimwater, aka Kahalaran, and the Kalayan Mahar Cemetery. So she was asking about Lafarda's tower. What is going on? Oh, there we go. Took a sweet time to enter there. Or I hit the button wrong. So, to be honest, either of those could be true.
I'm notorious for that, so yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Here we go. She asked also about something called the Rod of Light and Darkness.
Okay. Did Elgai go and do other things, or is he still there, or did he?
Elgai probably got you in, and I'm assuming left to go and do his shit. Is that right?
He'll go off to talk to Ravina.
Yeah.
Okay. And then
So
I don't know if Ulafos is probably not allowed in.
No.
So it was a good roll, but
I shrug. I say sorry.
It's all good, friend.
Although maybe I can let him borrow Flaro, because I don't want this whole place to explode or go up in flames, right?
it's a pretty not basic, but like it is an entry level ritual. So there may be actual other folks who have that as a bodyguard within the temple.
Okay.
Or the tower.
Okay, so it's not a danger unless he goes to where the flammable seeds would be. Yeah. Okay.
What you know?
Yeah, that I could probably learn about with the lore master thing. I do tell my friend, my new librarian friend, that it seems that he was hiding from something or someone.
Who was?
My master.
Do you know who?
He never divulged that. It was one of those things where he would look over his shoulder on occasion, or was very wary when we went for little dabbles into the forest. Not.
It's
He took me in. He was very friendly. That is why I am friend.
it's fascinating that he taught you and that you were able to master. There are many apprentices who are unable to successfully complete the ritual of... Kev's looking something up. Flaming servant.
Well, it is a mystery as much as to me as it is to you. He has passed away, and I wish to know why he avoided contact with others.
So the only other stuff that you find with respect to the what she seemed to be asking about is there is a name that seems similar to something you've heard before. Halaran.
Halaran?
Yeah. Lafartus Tower, the Rod of Light and Darkness, and something called Halaran.
My master did say they, though, but never said who they were.
Well, I did not have the pleasure of meeting him. I'm sorry for your loss, but I welcome you back to the tower.
Yes.
So that's probably what you accompany for the first day. Let's do. Who would like to go next?
Yeah.
I am happy to look in, see what the church has to say about matters.
Listen up, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Go ahead and give us a persuasive check there, please, Andrew. Let's see how successful you are in.
Okay. All right. I will see. Ooh.
Nice. Okay. So, what do you have any sense of who your contact may have been? Someone who is friendly to you, or at least tolerant of you, at the temple in Thistlehold?
I would think they would have known me in Alberator at some point. You know, an old face. Maybe they left early. So I mean, I hung on to the very last dog died, and they instead they went with one of the first, perhaps parties out.
Do you think man or a woman? Or more to the point, female name, male name?
Female.
Female. Okay. Ordelia.
Of course.
Theurg Ordelia. That'll be Inder's contact. Okay. So you go and see Ordelia, and she's involved with the getting ready probably for, or like preparing after the sunrise prayer. I don't know for a fact that there is a sunrise prayer, but the fact that there is a sunset service makes me think there is a sunrise service as well. Mm-hmm. When your god is the sun god, there's really kind of 2 times a day that really,
come on,
bring big numbers. So it's after this, so you know that she is going to be, or would you attend for that?
Would I what?
Would you attend for that service? Do you think if you're
a
priest?
Attend. Yeah.
So perhaps it's afterwards you see her, and it's another one of these like the young theurgs that they have performing, and I don't think they're called theurgs. There's something else they just said about it, but I don't remember what it was. Liturgs?
Another rank?
Did they call it liturgs? I think so. Anyway, they've finished up, and she is sort of in more of a busybody thing, right? Like she's probably reached the age where she still wishes to be of value, but perhaps is not physically capable. That may have been why she was evacuated from Alberator well before anything else. She sees you come in, and with a roll that good, she is very glad to see you. She smiles and waves. Enter. How did you enjoy the blessings of the sun upon you? How did you enjoy today's service?
I think I go in for a quieter comment, and I say, finally a welcome visage.
You are not under siege any longer, you old fool. You are welcome here always.
I appreciate that. I must say I find the Sun Church's bureaucracy a little stronger here than I expected, but
there are safety, silence, and stability allows for strength in the church. You should see it as such, Inder.
Oh, of course, and I give her a raised eyebrow, but I will get used to it, I'm sure. Great ceremony, by the way. Well done.
It was. The youth they make my bones feel 20 years younger, and the shadow of Alberator so far away. The sun burns bright. But
indeed,
what have you come over for? Do you wish to help?
Well, actually, I was I am finding my place, I will tell you, and
Good.
I was actually maybe seeking your assistance if perhaps you have heard something in a certain regard. I have joined a rescue effort of a lady who has gone missing in Davakar.
And she gives whatever the symbol is that, the not Stations of the Cross, but what do they call it? Sorry, I'm not a Catholic. I don't know what it's called. When you make the sign of the cross?
Oh, the rosary? Or no?
What is just the where they.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the sign of the cross.
It's the sign of the cross. Okay. I was going to say that. I'm pretty sure that's wrong. So. All right. She
makes a holy gesture.
Yeah, whatever the gesture is for the Church of the Lawgiver. And she says, I'm sorry. Did you say a rescue effort?
Yes. It's the of the House Furlos. One of the daughters, unfortunately, has gone missing.
I'm deeply sorry for that. I will pray for the family, as I'm sure you are as well. How might I help?
Well, we have a group has been secured to go and search for her in the forest. It will be my first time in, and I'm trying to gather a bit more information. I was curious if it's possible. I've been told by a comrade that the House Furlos were devout worshippers of the sun god. I was delighted to hear, and I thought there might be a possibility that they brought along a member of the church, similar to me on this rescue operation, and was interested in knowing why they went. It seems a bit curious, a young lady going into Davakar to the Kalea Mahar Cemetery, I am told, and what would she be doing there? And it might help us to know exactly where to look, and even perhaps what her license was secured for. As I learn about, and I give her another look, the bureaucracy.
Yeah, she's kind of giving you a look at this point of is there anything else, Inder? You have such a short list of demands already.
I look wistfully. You're so connected. You've been,
Your fervor is to be recommended. Your flattery needs practice.
It's a rescue.
But she says it in a playful way. You can tell that your flattery is actually kind of working on her. She says, when did you say this expedition set forth? And
tomorrow.
Elgai, no, the expedition of the young lady.
Oh, apologies.
When did it?
Elgai, did you tell us?
I'm not sure Ravina gave me an exact details, but yeah, I would have confirmed whatever knowledge I have.
It would have been around 9 months ago. So both
2 months ago, you say?
9.
9. Ooh.
Yeah.
I passed that along.
Okay.
9 months ago, my friend.
9. I can tell you I am not aware of any members of the church participating in any noble sponsored expedition, but as you are aware, there are errant members who remain distant from Mother Church. I could not say whether one of those went along with this scion of House Fairless, but I'm not aware of any member of the church accompanying her, or such an expedition in any event. As to why, I would suggest you speak to someone at the Queen's Legation if you wish to find further information for the licensing. And she leans in, though I suspected you knew that was the case, Inder.
Well, I was here for your delightful ceremony. I just thought I would check in.
Indeed.
And I know that you're
forgive
so
me,
knowledgeable.
in my dotage, what was your third question? You had asked of the licensing, you had asked of whether any of our members, any Theurg of Prios were to accompany her. What was your other question?
I believe it was just the if you had perhaps heard why a lady of a house like that would delve into Davokar, the dangers.
She takes your hand and she says, "My dear Inder, I think you need only look inward for why you are going to understand why someone of her station may find themselves considering doing so as well."
I'll have to think on that. I appreciate the...
She kind of squeezes your hand. Be sure you are certain that this is Prios' path for you. The dangers of Davokar are not to be underestimated.
I appreciate your concern. I believe it is. I think this rescue is where I am called for now.
Then you go where the path of the light takes you. I will pray for you, Inder, for success and for a safe return.
Excellent. I will see you at one of your delightful rituals upon my successful return.
And I will welcome your tales of adventure. Good luck, Inder.
Thank you. So good to see you again.
You already have what you want, you old flatterer. Go. And
I do so.
So you depart her, and you've got your information. Who would like to go next? We still have Hador's contact, we have Elgai speaking to Ravina, and we have Ulafos getting up to the, I assume, Orteg hunt.
I'm happy to talk to Ravina.
Okay. So if you approach was it the ruins? Was that the name of her?
Sounds familiar.
Yes, the ruin.
Okay, the ruin. It is a marked step up from where you have been staying. It is not like opulent, but it is definitely nicer than where you have been staying. If you ask at the front desk, they will ask someone to collect her. And when she comes down the stairs, she is very pleased to see you. Sir Elgai, please.
Ravina.
Shall we discuss in my room? should we take in the air?
Let's take the air.
Wonderful. And you can see she does have it seems a bodyguard who you just didn't notice before. And she turns and sort of gestures to him like, and he's giving you a hard kind of like up and down look. But the two of you then step outside. She says, forgive him. He did not know you in better times as I do.
He is merely doing his job. Kept you alive, so he's doing it well.
She looks up at you. If I might be so bold, I see no worry on your face. I take it that you are still amenable to taking on my task.
Yes, I have spoken to my crew, and we have dedicated ourselves to this endeavor. I'm happy to say that we will head into Davokar and shall look for Lander. Some preparations need to be made. Obviously, there's the matter of the license and its cost, and some questions have come up, and I was wondering if you could help with some answers.
From what I can, I certainly will be happy to.
It would help us in locating Lander if we had a better understanding of why she went to this particular location. Did she say anything about why the dim water? Do you know anything about her companions that accompanied her? What was she trying to find or achieve?
I do not know if you knew that my mother passed.
I heard the sad news.
What you may not have known was that shortly thereafter, Elanda and I were separated, and we spent a great deal of time apart. And I was taken in by family friends, transported across the Titans. Elanda was as well, but her circumstances were more difficult. The passage across the Titans was... They had losses among their caravan, and her early years in the Promised Land were anything but promising. We only reconnected. She thought I dead for a time, and when I did reconnect with her, she was very different from the sister I had known, though she was also still the sister I had known. I knew that she was coming to Thistlehold with the intention of seeking out riches. I assumed that Dimwater was simply one of the many places I've heard of that she went to. Is that true? Is there something about this Dimwater that is unique, or a reason she would go?
Well, my companions have questioned why she might have picked that particular place, as it's generally considered one that has been picked over many a time before, and so anyone looking for riches, treasure, it's not a very promising place.
Do you think she was duped? Tricked by someone?
I mean, it's possible, which is why if you have any knowledge about who else was traveling with her, how was she the leader of this expedition? Was she merely tagging along? She might have been duped. I mean, you still have some of the wealth of your family. There might be those, of lower character. So she could have been duped into going to a place that is not very promising in terms of treasure. Or she might have had other motives than treasure.
The only thing I have learned of her companions was that one is said to have had a remarkable singing voice, remembered by some in taverns for sharing in joining in when song is and music is brought. I do not know his name. I do not know his relationship with my sister. You must understand, Landa refused our money. I and those who brought me to Ambria, they ensured that what our family had was brought with us. It was meager. It was nothing approaching what House Artegal has, but it was not insignificant. And in these times, in this place, there are many of want. So those of means, we have much. I tried to share that with her, and she has refused. She needn't have done this. She needn't have sought out treasures. We had sufficient funds to make a life for ourselves, a place for ourselves and our family in Indaros. And yet she refused.
Did she give a reason for refusing?
She always would. She had a way of making it known that because of the differences in our lives, that I would not understand. And I cannot say that she is incorrect in that. I don't know why she did it. She is my sister, my only family. If she was duped to travel to a location that had no prospects, having inquired of the costs associated with the explorer's license, if she financed that, she had more money than I expected. And if someone did take advantage of her, if she is dead, and in my heart, I do not think that's so. I hear her clearly at night. But if she is, then I wish you to find who is responsible for her death. But she was clever, and she lived through much that I think would have killed me. There may have been those who preyed on her, but I think she must have had a reason for going there. Or so I choose to believe.
If I may ask, when you say you hear her voice at night, saying anything in particular?
Not that I can recall, no. It may simply be memories of better times. For when I hear her voice, it is the voice of when Mother was alive, when we were together. Things were bad, of course, but we were together. And I hear it. I know she is out there.
Well, I will try my utmost to reunite you. Thank you.
I have full faith in you, sir. You said questions. Have you any others?
None that spring to mind. We'll probably have some more at the licensing place.
Good.
Are we going to get the license now, or
If you are
discuss with my
prepared, sir.
companions? We've come up with a list, and I should talk her through. Gathering, foraging.
Yeah.
Allow to breathe, allow to sleep.
She kind of says, "I will rely on your expertise then. If we are to transport that amount of money, I'm afraid my bodyguard will insist on accompanying us. But let me collect him and the funds."
Of course.
So she leaves you, goes back inside to collect, gives you an opportunity to consider. Then, anything else you wish to inquire of Ravina?
Nothing in particular. I think we would probably inquire about like the bodyguard and how long she's had the bodyguard, and
He's probably
more of like a sense of, speaking of being duped, and it's just wanting to make
What
sure
you
that
find-
it's a decent bodyguard.
Absolutely. This is a guy who's basically like, since they left Alberador, he's been with her. So he's sort of he's not a knight, he's not whatever else. He's just a real tough, reliable commoner who they figured that they could, he would never leave her side, never let any harm come to her. In retrospect, there was probably someone like that was sent with Elanda, who died on the passage over from Alberador across the Titans. Any other questions?
Nope.
Okay. Hador and Ulafos. Who would like to go next?
I'm happy to. So my contact is apparently the Ordo Magica.
Nice.
So what I think, given I probably don't know what my compatriots are doing, but maybe the angle that I'm going to try and find information on is the supposedly picked over site of the Kalia Mahar Cemetery, or the Lake of Kar Halaran.
Yeah.
Maybe maybe there's a lore master that I know.
Yeah.
In the Ordo Magica.
Yeah.
Who I wanted to sort of dig deeper into the site to say, well, I have information to suggest that there are still people who believe there is something there. What do you know of the legends of that place? And is there more to be found? And if so, do you know what secrets may be hidden in that site?
Sure. Give us a persuasive check, please.
Sure thing. Let's see what we get.
Hell yeah.
Lord,
Nicely done. Okay.
Right.
So, this fella, sorry, is it a man or a female or male character?
It's male. His name is Talos.
Taloth?
Taloth, yeah.
Okay. Talotf, like Frank?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, Taloth, let's see here. This is Hador's contact. And what I'm assuming, I can't remember how the rules work. I'm assuming that like every community you guys would go to, you would be able to call on a contact there, similarly.
Correct.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
So, what you then do is maybe, do you approach the Ordo, or do you know to catch up with him at some other place that he likes going?
Maybe there's a place that he likes to go to that I'm aware of. Maybe a place that he's...
A place that closes the third floor every week, or...
Is that where the magic happens?
That is where the magic happens. So perhaps that's where, Hador walks in, and there's a woman wearing a dress made of only daffodils who's like, "Hi, Hador."
Oh, hey, hi.
You make your way over, and you can see that Taloth is sitting down. He is chatting with, I think he's probably like you tell me if I got this wrong, but he's probably more, just to make him not a creep, he's probably like talking to the matron or something. If he's a lore keeper, then she may be someone who he enjoys speaking to. In which case, because of your suspicions about what's going on that third floor, maybe there's a little bit of like, ooh, you don't like that he's talking to her kind of thing.
Right.
Because if she's the one who's up to, who the fuck knows? Maybe they're just cleaning. Maybe they're cleaning. Maybe it's special clientele.
Yeah.
But maybe. Why would she be talking to the arcane lore master otherwise? I'm sure it's just cleaning. I'm sure it's cleaning. So she sees you and kind of gives you a wink and then, you know, leaves him. And he looks over and he waves, Edor!
Tell off.
Come.
How are tricks?
Tricks? I'm afraid these hips can do no tricks any longer. Sit. You look thirsty.
Thank you. I just a question, if I may.
Of course.
I know you have some knowledge of Davokar, but nevertheless, it's a very specific thing I'm looking for. I have recourse to make a journey into the much vaunted forest myself.
You're finally going in.
Well, it apparently needs to be done. Not least because someone has got themselves in a little bit of trouble, as you may expect, in the aforementioned forest. Kalia Mahar Cemetery, Lake of Kahalaran.
Yes, that's the...
Something about the Rod of Light and Darkness.
That's the Lake of Kahalaran.
Destination. And what do you know of it? I know it's supposed to be picked over, but people still seem to be, well, having a very careful look at it.
I cannot speak for all treasure seekers, but I can speak. There are some who are thorough in their processes, and there are others who dig in the dirt, grab what they can, and think themselves the next night pitch. Do you know where the lake's name comes from? The proper name?
I come to you for this law, my friend.
Kahalaran comes from the name of the city-state that once stood there, Halaran.
I see.
And Halaran is even more ancient than lost Symbaroum. Indeed.
Ancient indeed.
There are those who believe lost Halaran was a foe of Symbaroum. Legend says they were demon worshippers. They had the ire of the lawgiver brought upon them, and they were smited for their irreligiosity. There are others who say that the foes of Symbaroum rarely survived. I saw one relic once, an engraving, and it referenced lost Halaran. What it said was it referenced the archmages of Halaran.
Archmages? Do they exist yet in your illustrious order, my friend? No.
There are potent mages here. Archmages. The darkness calls to many, and all who work any mystic art know the corrupting influence of such power. Imagine the influence of such potent magic. And I was quite certain of the transcription. Archmages of a plural nature. I have yet to find any other information in support of such a thing. It is rarely a location many wish to go to, but even if the popular myth is believed, and the city was scoured down into the ground by light and then washed into darkness by water, what might lurk down there?
Well, maybe, my friend, on my return, I can tell you.
I warn you this, Hador. What is known among the treasure seekers? There was once a wall that surrounded the cemetery. It has long since collapsed, but it marks the boundaries of the cemetery. Within the cemetery, corruption reigns rampant. Take care.
Oh, well.
I will also share one. Take care of the elves.
The elves?
The sight, I hear, is of interest to the elves.
Very good. Yes.
You know, you are not the first in recent times to come asking about dim water.
Really?
There have been several who have accessed what knowledge there is of the site in the last 6 months. Some planning expeditions, I think.
So I believe.
Then, and just for your character's edification, 9 months ago, 9 months ago is when she left, when Ilana left.
9 months
and
ago.
he's saying 6 months.
Okay, right. Oh, I see. Do you know who they might be? Did they return? No.
My answer to both
Well,
questions, and he raises his drink, is no.
Well, thank you, Taloff, for your help.
And for your company. And for your round. The next round is on Hador.
That's fair.
And he winks at you, and he says, kidding aside, my boy, be careful. The shadows run deep. If you intend to bring your light to it, burn them out.
I'll do what I can. I have friends.
He kind of looks up, assuming you're referencing Prios.
Oh, I see. I just give him a wink.
He laughs at that. Anything else you wish to ask of Taloff?
No, that's fine. That's
Okay.
fine.
Then you conclude with him and you depart. Ulafos,
Yes.
what are you thinking of doing today?
So I was just looking at my character sheet,
Yeah.
And I notice that I can work alchemy.
You can.
Can I attempt to gather herbs and minerals
Let's see.
to create an elixir that may help us on our journey?
Yes, you can. So you got that list of novice elixirs.
Yeah.
Did you find those? Which one are you thinking of making?
Okay, let's see here. I did have that open, and then I closed it. Give me 1 sec. It's on page
I'll look at your-
56. It's on page 56, I believe.
Oh, are the...
Elixirs.
Okay. You mean of the core book or of the quick start?
Oh, the quick start thing. I don't know if there's more.
No, that's great. That is perfect. I just had the wrong book.
I'm assuming those are the novice ones.
Yeah,
since
we'll
it's the
start
quick
with
start.
like what my intent is if we find that you guys want to like advance your characters beyond the levels of what's in the quick start, we can gain access to the core book as well. But I can't remember how fast you advance in this as far as XP is concerned. Kev, isn't part of your job handing out XP? Well, I mean, you're not wrong. So.
Oh, I can try and make that crazy bread.
Nice.
That whey bread, that actually is a thing.
Oh, that's awesome.
But there is something called wraith dust.
Oh.
And the wraith dust forces an incorporeal being to take a physical form for the duration of a scene. And I feel like if we're going to a graveyard, that wraith dust might be valuable.
Absolutely. In Haunted Davokar, not a bad plan.
Yeah, so I'm thinking I'm going to go trying to craft some wraith dust.
Sure. Go ahead and give us, let's see here.
It says cunning.
Yeah. Cunning check. Yeah. I'm just reading to see how
hard it is, or how?
No. Just how often.
Or how many days it takes, or I don't know.
Yeah, like I wonder if you could do this every day.
Right?
Use to identify.
Oh my gosh. Thank you, Roll20.
You do have your reroll for the session if you want to.
Oh yeah, and it's almost the end. Yes, 100%. Forgot about the reroll.
It's an optional rule out of the core book, but it's
Oh, beauty.
Nice.
Yeah, one profession feels good.
One reroll is not going to be unbalancing for. I don't feel for this. Okay, cool. Because every one of them has been a useful outcome, I think.
Yeah.
Right. Like everyone's reroll has ended up being useful for getting past. Yeah. Okay. Plus, with the amount of bullshit I'm about to throw at you guys, like, fuck. All right. So yeah, what do you think Ulafos's alchemy setup is like?
It's probably a separate cardboard box. Well, it wouldn't be cardboard, but you know what I mean. From the cardboard box he sleeps in.
Yeah.
Because sometimes there's explosions and small fires and whatnot. It's probably really slapped together. It's like a glass that he stole from a bar, and
I love it. Yeah.
A flint and steel that he scraped together, and just it really looks like junk. Like if you didn't know it was his little alchemy lab, you would definitely think it was just an assortment of junk box that someone had thrown out.
Incredible. So you succeed in that, and why don't we say that you guys are all meeting up for, like, because you're, there's only 2 days until you depart, you guys are all meeting up for dinner so you can have an opportunity to share information, talk about what you want to do with your final day before you depart. Because your expedition or your exploration license is active as of the day following that.
Okay.
So maybe you're all meeting at, I don't know, like some, busy out, like the outdoor pub kind of thing where they're just, slapping food down, and you can kind of, in amongst the big crowd, you can try and find a table and then, all sit together. And then as people come in and leave, you're trying to make sure your whole group comes together.
Mm-hmm.
While you guys all get together, any information you respectively wish to share with one another.
Yes, friend is very excited, and he says, I finally got to see inside the tower. Thank you, L guy.
Very welcome.
and I learned that the woman we're trying to find was looking for Lafarda's Tower, the Rod of Light and Darkness, and then there is some mention of a name or a place, Hallarun. There is no context. I plan to go there tomorrow to look up these things. Unless we are leaving earlier, I do not know. They're very nice there.
Good. But that is interesting. I spoke to Ravina, who's sorting out the license as we speak, but she mentioned that she did not fully know why her sister went on this expedition. I think that money was maybe not the main motivator. So I consider she might have been duped. But when Ravina offered her money from the family fund, she refused it. But also they'd been separated for a while, and she's admitted that her sister was quite different from the way she remembered her, and that her passage across the Titans wasn't quite as... I mean, no passage across the Titans is easy, but Ravina seems to have had an easier time of it, a more cared for time than Alanda. So I'm not sure who she might have fallen in with. Sadly, Ravina don't know much about any of her companions other than someone with a remarkable singing voice that people in taverns and inns might possibly recall. And she was surprised to hear that the mortar is considered not a good place for exploration because it's already been clean. But then the friend, it sounds like Alanda wasn't motivated by riches necessarily, if she had such specific questions.
I mean, I will certainly relay what I've found out.
What do you say?
A place. This is a place that is the base of the city of Hallarun, a city that predates Symbaroum itself, a city that was perhaps a foe, a rival to the upcoming Symbaroum of the time, but one that did not survive, as so many did not. One that it's said dabbled in rituals, demons, dark magics. One that held archmages, the archmages of Hallarun. And so there is an ancient evil that resides perhaps there yet. And there is a wall around the cemetery, which is mentioned, though that wall is long gone, but the outline of it does give a view as to where that cemetery is. And my other piece of information is to watch for, and my eyes flick to Friend and Olifos for a minute, and I just say, watch for the elves. For they have either an interest in the place, or perhaps they have a guarding of the place. If it is a great darkness in the forest that they regard as their own, well, we have to watch them.
For those unfamiliar with the setting, elves in this are very different from elves in other settings. They are deeply alien creatures with a very different perspective on the world, relationship to the world. Their existence is fundamentally different from the existence of human experiences, for instance. So they have absolutely no compunctions against killing people who they feel are doing things that they should not be doing in Davokar. One of the many dangers in Davokar.
My friend at the church, Ordelia, that I know from the old country, she told me she was not aware of any member of the church, active member of the church at least, representative in the ladies' party, though she said that perhaps a member that had fallen out, they can sometimes end up in these groups, and that is a possibility.
I mean, seriously, what kind of fucking dirtbag priest goes with a bunch of treasure seekers into the Davokar forest and wait a minute.
Not to be confused with rescue, with a rescue effort.
Precisely. Yep. That's absolutely an important distinction to make. Yep.
Indeed. So she did warn me of the dangers, and said it is possible that if I wanted to know about why her license was issued, that indeed, of course, I would need to go to the legation, to the legator. I'm not sure of the terms here. And this one.
Anyone have any questions of each other? Is there any questions that you ask of one another, or comments on what you've learned?
If she did not tell her sister why she was going, maybe her license would have had a lie on it and is of no value to us.
I mean, there could have been all sorts of reasons why she would not tell her sister. If she was perhaps heading into a demon-infested forest through a cordon of hostile elves to seek out ancient treasures from beyond the time of Symbaroum, well, I could imagine her sister may take issue with that. So perhaps it was a protective reason. We don't know. It's possible.
Mm-hmm.
There may be other drivers as well. There may be something that she was seeking very particular to find restitution. We don't know very much about these noble daughters of the house, really. Elgai,
what I do know is that they lost their mother. Ravina intimated that Alanda took the loss particularly badly.
When you say lost, how did she die?
Do not know, but there are so many awful ways.
Again, you know, I'm merely thinking of things I've encountered back in our home country. There are ways, of course, with deep and dark magics to reacquaint yourself with the dead. I'm only suggesting. I do not know. But if she was very, very motivated here, well, what was it she was seeking? What arcane and blasphemous law was she perhaps looking to dig through? Maybe for the right reasons. It's always for the right reasons. To maybe reacquaint herself with her dearly departed mother. Just things I've found. I'm sure that's not the case. I smile winningly.
Yeah. When you have a witch's hammer, everything looks like a
Which
That's awesome. So, anyone else have any comments on what you have learned thus far?
I think it's still worthwhile checking and seeing if perhaps at the legation we can learn what was on what she requested to be licensed for. And the worst they can say is no, but I would hope that, considering it's a rescue mission that the church is interested in, hopefully they would provide us a nugget of information to give us more ideas.
Guys, the time has finally fucking come. You guys are going to have to call upon the most important kind of NPC you've ever seen. Guys, you need to hire a lawyer. A public records request? Come on. This is... Oh, my goodness.
Imagine it'd be like that scene in the 12 Tasks of Obelix and Asterix.
Right. Could be a fortune.
Yep.
Don't worry. They charge by the hour, and the forms are very short. Oh, no. You're going to need some money. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
A staff of 5 should do. A staff of 5 will be fine.
Exactly. Well, you need to have your paralegals as well, too, right? Because you're not going to write that stuff yourself. We want to be cost efficient for you. We're going to have to consult and review the work of the paralegals as well. So, like, that does... I mean, we're paying for that, because, like...
Of course.
You get paid for your job talking to God. We get paid for, No. You can likely find it some other way. I don't think there is any legal apparatus within Thistle, so... But anything else you guys wish to comment on about what you've learned thus far from each other? Inder seems to be looking for a public records search for next time. Anyone else have any ideas what they wish to do with their final day before departing for Bright Davokar?
I think probably have a good time. If we're going, for me, for Hador, I think he would probably think, well, I'm going into a demon-infested forest with hostile elves, very uncertain about what I'm going to encounter. I think I'm going to try and have the best time I can.
The lady with the daffodils, the lady with the chains, and the
everything. I'll just spend. I'm going to spend some money.
Yeah, that's okay. So Hador's going to enjoy himself tomorrow. How about the Ulafos, Elgai, and Friend? What are you guys doing tomorrow? Friend, you said you're heading back to the
Friend's going to go back to the
tower.
The tower and follow up on those leads.
Elgai and Ulafos, what are you thinking?
Elgai will go on a pub crawl, not to get drunk, but to see if anyone remembers someone with a remarkable singing voice and can tell him some more information about the said individual.
Love it. Okay. And then Ulafos?
I think he's gonna, say goodbye to his mother and spend some time with her before he heads off, because, he may not return. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He hopes to return, but people don't, and so he's just going to spend the day with his mom.
Love it. Yeah, talk about the future house you guys will have. Human servants.
The treasures. That's what he's telling her, but really in his mind he's thinking, I just want to spend the day with her because this could be dangerous.
Yeah. Awesome. Guys, that brings us to the end of Chapter 1 of Where Darkness Dwells. So... we'll bring it. I do have to look at the rulebook to see about XP, but I'll let you guys know that on Discord. Let's see, but that was fucking great fun.
Yes.
Yeah. I really like the light touch and informed by abilities and background approach for the game. It's very that's for the way that I like running games. I find that's very effective.
Yeah.
Really good rules apparatus for that too.
Yeah,
I'm glad we're playing with at least one reroll, because that did come in handy. I think everyone. I don't think everyone used it. Did everyone use their reroll?
No,
I did not. I don't think.
No.
Okay, so you two didn't. That's because Prios was looking out for you.
Yeah. Let's be honest.
Yeah. For those listening at home, as is always the case, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns regarding the campaign, the game we're playing, or the session, please don't hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section down below, and I'll endeavor to reply in a timely fashion. There's also a link down below to the Dungeon Musings Discord server where all of us are active, and we have channels there dedicated to most of the games and campaigns we run on the channel, as well as assorted games, find a group, GM discussion, virtual tabletop chat. There's a terrific, helpful, knowledgeable, and friendly community over there. You are more than welcome to join us. There's also a link down below to our friends at Noble Knight Games. Noble Knight Games is the preeminent unionized retailer of hard-to-find and out-of-print RPGs in North America. Not only do they have an incredible selection of new role-playing games, board games, and card games, they have an unmatched selection of hard-to-find and out-of-print RPGs. I don't have anything at hand that is necessarily hard to find or out of print right now. I don't Actually, I don't know if Symbaroum stuff is out of print, but you can probably find that there. If they don't have something you're looking for in the extensive catalog, you can put it on a want list, and they'll send you an email when it comes in. And if you make a purchase of $10 or more through their website, be sure to enter the code NOBLEMUSER, all caps, all one word. It's listed in the description of the video. That'll save you 10% on any purchase of $10 or more, and that discount code will change as of October 15, 2025. So if you are listening to this after that time, just come back to one of our more recent videos and you'll see what the current discount code is there. The last thing I will say is a huge thank you to our stalwart heroes. So Carl, David, Graham, Sean, and Jeffrey, thank you so much for playing tonight, guys, and for diving into this campaign. I did not feel comfortable continuing on with our other campaign. I had so much fun with the game and the characters and playing with you guys in this one. Can't wait for our next session. I mean, I'm sorry what's going to happen in the next session, but really looking forward to it. We will be back in 4 weeks' time, but until then, we hope that we gave you a few hours to take your mind off the troubles of our world and think about our heroes in Thistlehold and the troubles they are about to take upon themselves. And until we see you again, stay safe, stay healthy, and happy gaming.